This platform is independent, and we wanted to work with everyone across the spectrum. So folks are invited to share what they know, and the viewers makes their choice, and we ask the questions, and we give the just the opportunity to answer.
This craziness, man, I do not care. Why am I so anti-establishment? Because of what I've seen the establishment do to people. That's why I cannot be pro-establishment.
Power is in the hands of the people. And it really did. What we all witnessed is the government, they knew that they were heading in the wrong direction. They knew Gambians are speaking in the same voice.
What law in the books that says the government has power to come out and go after folks' private citizens' properties and demolish them because somehow the government interest?
The only way that we can salvage our country is when everybody gets their hand dirty. Don't sit there with your expertise and just to procrastinate everything that people say or pontificate, what everybody says or does. Let's get our hands dirty.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Another Sunday with 40 people, by the people. Yes, Brother Marong, how are you?
I'm always doing good, man. Doing good.
How is the family?
The family is good. Everybody's good.
Bro,
the weather is changing drastically, but
getting cooler.
Yeah, getting cooler, but it's sunny today. So they said it's gonna, I think, 78 degrees. But yeah, we're in the tail end of a beautiful weather, so things changing drastically.
Right here in Atlanta, it's cooler. That's why I like Hotlanta. And we're getting into the autumn. I mean, and it's cooler. I mean, cool September breeze. You can't really beat that. Cool September breeze, but bro, yeah. But in the political climate in Gambia, it's hot. Candidate back. They say people's power is really important. You see, Brother Marong, we all learn every day. And what I'm beginning to learn is when a population or when a people seize the moment, they make the impossible possible. And we are at that, what I would call it opportunity, that precipice whereby I believe that Gambians are ready to seize the moment. There's a lot of talk about driving the bus. You know what I mean? Good old President Barrow is always talking about he's the bus driver. You either join the bus or he will push you out of the bus. But what we are witnessing is Gambians themselves want to seize and become the driver of that bus and take it to a destination that is palatable to each and every one of us, our individual development, and Gambia becoming something else. We've always talked about on this program, transformational change. Dañ ko dee wax bésu yàggee dafa nuru, it becomes a cliche because everybody is talking about change. Everybody wants change. We want unity and we want change. I think each and every one of us should give anything a chance that calls for coming together, unity and change. If we have that, and again I repeat, if we have that, everything is possible. If we unite on a purpose We bring about the change. We change the culture of how we interact. We change the political culture. We change the corruption culture. Anything is possible. So today, we wait for Pasamba, and hopefully Banka will join us. And I want to say good afternoon to everybody that is tuning in today. We are going to be, again, talking about what is happening in the Gambia as we look forward to 2026. Bro, do you have it? Every political junkie, this is what we look for. You know what I mean?
Excitement, huh? No, Musaye.
So, Brother Marong, we're definitely going to, a lot of things happen.
Uh-huh.
And we also, the Lord Mayor, and giving out his speech for launching this Unity for Change. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how did he do. We're going to look at all of that. And what are we witnessing? Some people think that there's not much to it. Other people believe that this has been the best thing that has happened to this country. But like we always do on this platform, irrespective of where we are, we come here and we give it the analysis that it deserves. And we will do that without a doubt. Brother Marong.
Yeah, Coach Paramos, thank you very much. And thanks to the viewers and here in the diaspora around the world. But first, I must take this opportunity. 1 year, Paramos, that was for like one year was yesterday since we all descended in the Bronx.
Yes.
Oh. Yes.
I still remember. Now, we got to go back and do it again.
So I must recognize, I must highlight the accomplishment and the beautiful wife who's been a true companion along and
absolutely
keeping it real and Ajara to Jenaba Kamara. So definitely Ken Dumaku Wechi Ken and Kamara Makahore. I think Tanka. Pray for her long life.
You're in love.
Well, absolutely, no doubt, brother, man. Brother, suma smile is sorry, legi dal. Danga si jama kewal de mane man na ñaan rek kewal bu bari. Loolu la de wade.
And I can tell everything about you. Your height, your look, your dress. I mean, everything is happening, my brother. You're looking good.
Father Moses, I must pray for this beautiful woman and with a golden heart.
Yes.
Very steady, genuine, and knows and respect humanity. So on that, yes. I want everyone to join me to pray for her, for long life and good health and prosperity. And may she live long and long and long. As the Mandinkas in my Kianka voice, Funganja Tilola, being a kobor Funganja Tilola. So that's it, Father. That's my opening for this morning.
Bro, I really want to take the opportunity to congratulate you immensely. And there is absolutely no doubt that, like we always say, you know how to pick them. And you picked the right woman. I still remember that day in New York at the Bronx, yes. And first time meeting her. She's beautiful, she's poised, and I really want to congratulate you. But there's also something else. She's a very lucky woman for choosing the right guy. Because people see us here and we go back and forth, pound the table, all of that. We get passionate. Because that's who you are. You're real. You are a straight shooter. You are an independent thinker. They can call you biased all they want. They call me that too. But you call it the way you see it. You're not a hypocrite and you're a very smart man. Seriously. So I can say this for sure. Seriously. Jennifer is lucky to have somebody like you. No doubt about that. And she can take that to the bank. Bro, Gayange Dordi Sanego Misali.
Yes, my brother man says, what is his name? Mr. Sade says, I think Sharia is also, you know what? Anything new, everyone should be excited about it, Musa. That is just the truth. I'm a progressive Gambian, so I mean, why not? If there's excitement and there's energy and intensity, that's what we talk about here for the past 2 years. You know, the more, the better. So let's see. Let's get out to I call it a battlefield. Let's get out to the battlefield. We make our case and persuade voters that they deserve better. Right. The Gambians, they're worth it. Gambian voters worth it. 60 years of stagnation, lack of basic amenities. I think there should be a conversation in a public domain to talk about this. And I think the folks that I seen Mr. Saho, you know, the young man, and you know, Chase the Secker, you know, the young lady. I mean, it kind of renewed our hope and saying that, you know what, I think 2026 it's not gonna be like 2021, and I think we will have that opportunity to listen to each of the political parties, the vision they have for our country, the policies they're gonna lay out, and voters will make a choice ultimately. So I think it's very, very exciting to see young and vibrant folks, even coming from business owners and young, vibrant, and they have a vision. They're saying that what we're seeing today in Gambia, Gambians deserve better. We are coming in, we're gonna lend our voice, we're gonna lend our resources, and we will be in the fight. And I think this is all about who can unite. This is not 2026 is not going to be about bullying. 2026 is not going to be about insults. 2026 is not going to be about none of that stuff. 2026 is going to be about who can reassure Gambians and who can guide them and unite them, offer them something new. Not about personalities, but Gambians, they are worth and they deserve better, and we can do it together. We can go to the promised land. And with that, Mr. Mane is here, the Nyancho, and he cannot wait to join on the bandwagon and discuss. Sabanka.
Rhoda Banka. It's been a like they say,
it's been a minute. Smile. You know, when he smiles like that, he has something to say.
Sarian, I think I have to kill you because you know me too well. I think I'll have to kill you.
So, Banka, how you been? How's the Sunday?
My Sunday is going great. You know, having the best time of my life with my family. You know how it is. So this morning we went to visit the graves of the departed Lamin Kamara and Ibu Kamara, and you know, we were there at their cemetery. It was very moving. You know, the mom does that a lot to go and you know, kind of clean up their cemetery and do some good work over there. I really commend the mom for keeping up with that tradition. She and Mariama are always there doing their thing. So, but anyway, I before I came in, I understand you guys were talking about there is an anniversary going on, which is a calls for a celebration, obviously. Definitely. My brother there, Serian, as we like to say, and Jennifer. I happen to, you know, I know Jennifer from way back when, even well before they she and Serian were married, and Serian I go way back with a long time. So he and my man Amara Juara. Was son. So, you know, this is a marriage made in heaven. These two are, you know, if you want to talk about perfect human beings, Jennifer is flawless. both in her beauty, her character, her nature, her love of people. She's just flawless. And Sariang complements that with his gentlemanly nature, and also his patriotism and love of people, and kindness and simplicity. You can't have it better than this, really. So I believe they deserve each other, and we pray that their marriage, as they say, as we say in Mandinka, and we wish them the very best of everything they wish for themselves in their wonderful marriage. So really, that's I wanted to kind of start off with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, Banker, in the opening, we are definitely going to be talking about the big elephant in the room, and that is Talib Bensouda finally coming out and launching Unity Movement for Change. And I want to first give you to take a bite of the apple, the rolling out and the presentation and what we're looking at. But before we do that, I always like to make a disclaimer. You see, I've always come here on this platform and said that I'm an independent guy. Farumafen, I call things as the way I see it. I make my analysis, I play the devil's advocate. Whoever we bring up here, I ask the tough questions. I got a lot of finger pointing. He don't like UDP, doesn't like UDP. He's like NPP against NPP. For the first time, I belong to, I want to say that, loud and clear, Unity Movement for Change. I'm willing to invest everything I have in terms of emotions, because for me, I see success in this. I've always talked about transformational change. It doesn't mean that we lacked people that could have bring about this transformational change I always talked about or yearn for. Absolutely no doubt. We do have them. But for the first time, for me, I see the possibility. And I want to be part of this possibility. I want to give it a chance. Like the Wolofs would say, Axisma Lamin. What I am never going to be part of. If all this amounts to nothing, I will come here and be against it. If all this amounts to nothing, but just to replace an individual with an individual, I want no part of it. But something is telling me there is a lot more to this, and that needs to be given a chance. One single individual will not be able to do it. Anybody who thinks that Unity Movement for Change will go a long way and see success because of a particular individual, you're kidding yourself. It doesn't happen like that. You know, Banker, for 22 years in the struggle here in Atlanta, we've all witnessed. It was a lonely struggle. Most people did not want to be part of it because it is difficult. They couldn't see how this thing can be successful. I remember people saying that the banker miners of this world, then you're wasting time. No one can change this because how difficult and impossible the effort was. I work with an Ethiopian guy at the Hilton. He always hears me online radio talking, giving interviews back and forth, the politics, how to remove Jammeh. And he always laughs and tells me, you African immigrants, all you do is waste your time. You will never be able to be successful. When the results were announced that morning, the guy couldn't believe me. I mean, he was long gone. I haven't seen him for 3 years. He called me. It's like, I cannot believe this. So you guys were doing this? You really it meant something? And you guys were finally able to send this guy packing? To me, that says a lot. Regular, ordinary people, they can bring about change. There were a lot of Gambians who were not part of this bandwagon to liberate Gambia. I mean, Gambians living in the diaspora. When it happened, people will call a Bankamani, a Sariang, a Musajeng, and they said, I regret. I wish I was part of this. You are not part of something because you want to benefit. You are part of something because you want to see change. And that's what you did, Banka. You have absolutely nothing to show for it. But you are a captain, a lieutenant in that liberation struggle. The Lolu Moi Digger. When it was impossible and difficult, you stood with the people. You were not passive. You were active. You were a leader in it. So, what am I saying? When everything is said and done, here we have an opportunity to bring about change. It may look difficult. It may look very hard that there's no way an incumbent can be defeated. I get it. But trust me, if we seize the moment, Jammeh dictatorship was much harder, but we were able to do it. So if we join hands together, not to elect A or to elect B or do it for this individual or that individual, but to do it for country. Ken Duma wax ne, Gambia doesn't need change. If there is, we can disagree on everything. Everything. But one thing we can all agree, come 2026, 27, January 2027, we want to be able to elect a different person and give our country a chance for change. For that, Banker, I rest my case. Brother Banker, what say you? He's mute.
No, I think he probably dropped off though. Is he there?
Oh, I need to bring him on.
Yeah, bring him on.
Yes, I forgot. You drop out.
I drop off and I'm in the background. I kept saying, hey, I'm here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Banker.
Okay, it's okay. Look, I heard everything you were saying, even though I was I was backstage. But you know, Musa, I think especially the last statement is very important. It's very instructive as it relates to what the point you were trying to make, which is that does anybody believe change is necessary? Of course, yes, because change is always necessary. Change is always life itself is a changing process. So it is something that is based on the fundamental reason. Because life itself, if you are not ready for change, whether in terms of politics or leadership or ruling or regime or this, that, and other, then you are not ready to progress because progress comes through change. The question always that is asked always, of course, is change to what? Change for what? This is what is always the question. And if that what part is not justified as in terms of the answer that you get, then people want to say, okay, I'm going to stick with what I have now until when change is necessary. But change is always needed. So I think in terms of Gambian politics too, that same dynamic is what is playing out, which is that even for those who want change, they will want to see change to what? So this is
okay. It looks like my mind has frozen a little bit. But the other yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, it's AT&T, and I will call them out because AT&T has been horrible in our area with this internet. I don't know what's going on with them. It's not just me, but our neighbors, everybody's having the same problem with internet. At this point right now, I think Africell is better than AT&T. I will tell you that right now. AT&T is horrible right now. I don't know what's going
I
need to screenshot this. I'm serious. No, I am screenshotting this. But now you're Natalia to Clorsi. So we want.
I'm your coach. I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna have to sue you for defamation of character. But what I'm saying is that the parties that are vying to replace the current government, therefore, must present a superior program and a superior disposition to say, hey, here, look at us. We are better replacement to the government in power. If they cannot do that, then obviously people are not going to go for the change. It's just not doesn't work like that. And because what tends to happen is the parties don't do what is necessary, and yet they still want to see the result that they desire. And it doesn't work like that. If you want the result, you must put in the effort that is necessary for that result. So here we are, a Talib, the United for Movement for, and this is too early. People will have to see what the Talib has to, the movement has to offer, and people, manifestos will come out, programs will come out, and I can go through the list. You get my point. And then the governments will make an assessment as to what this one is all about, and then they will. This is maturing. We are now seeing people.
Yeah. Bangat sa internet mom is very poor.
Making bold steps, bold moves, taking the risks, taking the chances, and jumping into the fray, and be willing to be hard. Over. But can you guys hear me? Or is it?
Now we can. Now we can.
I'm so sorry. If it gets bad, I will just drop off and maybe come in another time. But what I am saying is that this is a good news. Yeah, this is a wonderful thing for the Gambia. And I mean, Talib jumping in the fray and hearing from Lamin Dabo and all these things jumping in the fray. This is the most exciting. I think for me, this is the most exciting period in our country's political history. There is not a history like this at all. If you go back to even the Jawara days, the formation of the PPP, when UP and all these parties were around, it wasn't this exciting. Because in those days, there was some kind of predictability as to how things will end up. But this time, there is no even alliances. We don't know who is allied with who yet. We don't know. This thing is just forming and storming and norming. I mean, we don't know what really is going to be the final product. So we will watch this space. We are all here to be observers and really watch it and analyze it for what it is, and for the rest of us, we will all jump in the fray at some point and be part of this exciting deal. So someday myself, I will make what we call the big or the small announcement.
I hope sooner than later.
No, I mean, it's going to be later because I'm watching and I'm observing and I'm talking to and I'm looking and seeing where really, because if you notice from 2016 to now to date, I haven't really participated in our political process as in campaigning and doing this and doing this. I've never done that. Really?
No, you have never, definitely. Yeah, you've never. And then you went.
Can you hear me? But this time around, I want to do something different. I want to be out there campaigning and really sure that I am heard and I am visible. That it ends any speculation or as to what really I'm trying to do, because I know I've been quiet about a lot of these things. Parties, where I belong, my political and all these things. So, but these are not campaigning and being seen to be part of. But all that, eventually, I will go ahead and join the fray and campaign vigorously, and put my stupid ideas to work to see that whoever or wherever I am going to be, that I'm as visible as I need to be, that I am in the center of things, not on the sidelines, because this is a very, very consequent things that are going on. We must all be hard, and we must be hard. Very important. And really be the coach. So get ready. Maybe I'll be campaigning with So, but can you guys hear me, Musa?
No, we missed the last part. You said you'll be campaigning. No, we missed that part.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
You didn't hear me?
We didn't hear the last. We did not hear the
Coach has
last
been
part.
trying to recruit me to become the coach, and he's been after.
Time is up.
His time is up. So, Pap Samba.
Post.
Yes. Obviously, like we were saying at the beginning, obviously, I mean, last week, I remember talking to you a couple of weeks ago. Huh? Can you hear me? The internet
he was saying Mose, I'm not hearing you. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Right now I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Why greetings, guys. And I am now, as we speak, I am at Howard University, Musa. You know Howard?
Yes.
Because there is a memorial for this great Gambian, Dr. Mbai Cham, who passed away. And they're having a memorial service for him here at the school. He was a professor here at this school, very prestigious university, Howard. For 40 years, he started in 1980, Musa. And later, as we speak, he was, until his death, the chair of the African Studies and the founding director of the Center for African Studies here at Howard University. He was recently in the Gambia to prepare in launching a film that he did, a documentary on the life of Comrade Silla. You know Comrade Silla Mose. You do remember Comrade. He is Usman Silla's brother and Ami Silla's brother
behind
too.
The IOGT.
You know. So I don't know whether you can hear me, whether you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
Yeah. So that's where I am. The hall is jam-packed with people across, lives. I've seen very prominent Gambians here, the ambassador here, the Minister of Information is also here, Dr. Sise. We hung out last night somewhere. I just saw him. He is here, gave a statement. The ambassador, the Ost Mangas of the world, the Peter Proms of the world, the Lizzies, and all these people are here, definitely to celebrate the life of this great guy who had done so much in advancing the cause of Africa as a Gambian and very much respected. So if you guys cannot hear me, it looks like what you call it is a problem. So I can just come back in.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah. Because I can just see Musa mouthing off, but I don't know what he's saying.
No, Mane, we can see you. We can hear you.
We can hear you, Coach.
Okay, you can hear me. So thank you very much. So that's what I was saying, that it makes me real proud as a Gambian to come here and see a Gambian being celebrated for the work that they've done. And this Howard University, Karamba would attest to this. I see that he's watching. We've had the Dr. Nyangs, the Dr. Sohanas, the Dr. Chams, the Dr. Jibes Langlis, and a whole host of other Gambians who went to school here, including the Halifa Salas, the Tombong Sadis, and all these people. And Howard University, or DC, was the intellectual mecca of Gambian diasporans. Because almost when they come, for the most part, the older guys, either they go to Pennsylvania or they will come to Howard because of its history, as one of these most prestigious HBCUs. And all that. So definitely to Mr. Mbai Cham, I could not be prouder. Definitely, as a Gambian. You just sit here and look at the cross-section of people that are here from Ethiopia, all over the place. Even Linda Greenfield, you remember her, used to be the ambassador to the UN for Biden, also was the chancellor in the Gambia at some point. Is also here. So you have a whole host of people that are here. We may be a very, very small country, Musa, but our contribution academically and in other forums and areas around the world can never be underestimated. And this is why, to segue to what you guys were talking about, it is important, finally, to give the Gambians what Gambia deserve. I believe that we have been underperforming for way too long. And it is high time that we do not settle for development to mean building roads and all that stuff. There must be something more that we can do for our country and for our people. And I think some of us who are now older and will be dying pretty soon owe it to the country to at least leave a legacy that they can hang on to and progress. Because definitely successive generations have failed the nation. It is now time for people to step up, be counted, so that finally we will have something that we can all be proud of. Because we do not lack the human resources to develop our country, Musa. All you gotta do is just look at the CVs of Gambians across the globe. And every sector, though, whether it is IT, whether it is the IMF, whether it is the World Bank, whether it is the universities, wherever you go, you will see people who are highly qualified, excelling, absolutely beyond belief. But that must be transformed into development for our people in the Gambia. Because if you've not done that, then you fail them. But Musa, that's just what I wanted to say for now. I'll listen and may come in from time to time if necessary. And to unite movement for change, good luck to you guys. Hopefully there is more to this, that it is real and it's not just, an other movement. And the buck stops with them, and it is their responsibility to prove to all Gambians that they are the real deal. Otherwise, it would not amount to anything but just an other movement created just for the sake of being elected into office. But anyway, thank you guys so very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What is the, I'm going to let you, my good friend, to come in. Pap Samba with his living, like, is this going to be the real deal or just another mirage or another movement, another excitement that will not amount to anything? Brother Marong, you watch, Talib rolling out the movement, and we can kind of dissect what he said. And what is he telling us? And what's your take on the speech, the delivery, the substance of it? General overview. And we've gotten reactions from different people, different parties, different areas. And then we can also discuss those comments as well. What's your take, my brother?
So you're talking about the speech today, or
no, the rolling out.
Oh, the initial declaration.
The initial declaration of Unite Movement for Change.
Yes. Musa, thank you very much. As I said, just coming out and forming a movement itself takes a lot of courage. And to withstand, some might be positive, some might be negative. But I think I will applaud him for having the courage to say, you know what, I think maybe I might be able to offer more to the Gambians than what is the norm. And I think that's why you've seen all of us saying, finally, the conversation is just beyond personalities, but more about Gambia. This is the battlefield of ideas. Get out there, talk to the people, and it's very, very important. When he said this conversation, a lot of people had mixed feelings. They said he should say, you know what, I'm resigning from UDP. He didn't do that. Talib Bensouda is the one who can say why he didn't say that, right? And the fact that he did not, someone say, oh, he didn't distinct. Well, everything is in the details. So I don't speak for him. I don't talk to him, but he knows what he did. But I think the fact that he mustered the courage to come front and say, I am launching this. I want people to be part of the movement, and also design a website. And today, subsequently, they had a meeting to talk about the policy. Musa, it in itself, it's exciting. I seen the energy and intensity in the hall. It says something is happening in Gambia. It's gonna happen 2026. And I think it's about time everyone, whether you are part of the movement or you're part of UDP but take for a moment and reflect on these times. Have we been here before? Was 2021 be like this? No. I've seen youths who are saying, you are our You are the solution to our problems. We have the backway syndrome. Crime is on the rise. You can deny all you want. Unemployment is on the rise. People are living in despair. Who would they look upon to resurrect from that trend? And I think I spoke about reassurance, unity, three people, everyone, even your opponents who might disagree with you, with dignity and respect. And I think far too long, Gambians for 60 years, Musa, we sit here, we talk about the same issue. Every single day we've seen audit reports upon audit reports about accountability, corruption, unsustainable spending, out of control. We need to rein that in. We need to bring efficiency into the government. We need to hold folks accountable. We need to answer to the calls of the people who vote them into the office, to assure them, to take care of them. That has not been happening. And I think people who tap into people's emotion, provide solutions to their problem, provide assurance that they deserve better, I really think that will be the person that people are going to coalesce around to be the person who ultimately going to defeat. And I seen a lot of things on Facebook, ministers, everything's going after. You have to look at you have to look at this dynamics of the politics. And if whoever not saying that within the past 48 or past 5 days hasn't shake up the political landscape of the Gambia, you're not following these things too closely. We've seen resignations, Musa. The young man who said, I don't know. When I was joining, I was only 14 or something like that. I have to pat away. But we got to look into why are those kids resigning? That is the question. You cannot just dismiss that just because, personal ambition, because no. What is the underlying message there? I didn't watch Diba's, but I saw Diba Chaku on there. Why did he part away? What is the underlying message there? And all the audios that he put in, do you listen to it carefully and do you reflect on it? What is the message there as well? And I think you cannot be dismissive of people's concern and what they want. We are all Gambians. And I think at the end of the day, if you think you deserve better than the current status quo, I really think you need to think about the different options that we have, the different political parties that are willing to put their head in the ring and fight for a better Gambia. And this is nothing. Let nobody mistakenly this for anything. This is about a fight for the soul of our country. We wanted to Gambians endure 30 years of Jawara. We have Yaya Jammeh, who came in 22 years. We have Barrow, who is 8 years. There is a lot of dissatisfaction. And how do we ring that? How do we take all these concerns and turn them into a vote that will show that people have the ultimate power? And I think the end result will be who has the ultimate power, and is the voters. Get out there, get into the battlefield. Don't go after your opponent. That is not important. What is important, if you dare and you want to change, you need to focus on the status quo. And the status quo, without a doubt, is bad. And Gambians deserve better. And whoever is going to set the agenda of the status quo, be ready to face the serious, questions. Why do you really think we need to stay with the status quo, or we are talking about the future? Forward-looking. Campaigns are not about the past. It's about the future. And we should all be excited because we're talking about the future for our kids and grandkids. So with that, I'll stop here and listen to Banka.
Thank you. Thank you, Sariang. Banka, you want to come before I?
No, because I was out, so I was sure exactly if there's a question or something you guys are talking about.
Banka, you want to bente yange break de. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know this. The line, it's not looking good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead. So we were
Okay. No, go ahead.
Okay. So Banka, for me, just reading some of the comments. Like I said at the beginning, just to make a disclaimer, this is an independent platform, but Musa Jeng as an individual, I have never been part of a party or anything like that. I have my sympathies, but for the first time, I belong to this effort called Unity Movement for Change under the leadership of Talib Bensouda. For me, it's not necessarily all about him. And he has said that this movement is about us seizing an opportunity. And I want to comment on some of the things that my good friend Sariang, that is about his speech, the rolling out of the movement. I've heard people say that, well, especially from NPP, that the speech was amateurish, they said. The guy did not come out and resign from the UDP, they said. And my question is, for the past 5-6 months, we've seen a lot of people form political parties. Went to West Coast Radio, form now party this, party that, call it a name, go to iAfrica, Kerfatu, unveil their party. From the incumbent on their side, they haven't said a word. Now, why all of a sudden, they basically just send missile? Demba Sabali himself, Muhammad Sabali, Ibrahim Silla, everyone reacted. What is that telling us? Citizens, as citizens, what in the world? Why are these people all jittery all of a sudden? Because they know this force is real. This force has threatened the very status quo. And they know it. And that is why they're reacting the way they're reacting. Some said the speech should have talked about issues, policy issues. Hey, Gambian, no yakamti. Tengkung, demanding. You see, we all know that Talib has been going through a very difficult times. He was part of the United Democratic Party. He was really one of the movers and shakers of that party. And for him to come out, we all saw him and we all knew that he wanted to be the flag bearer. In the United Democratic Party as a vessel, he sees it as something that he will be able to bring about the transformational change that the country needs. Mom lolo bugun. Why ñu ne nit ak bugam yalla ak dogalam. It did not happen. We all saw him kind of wanted to apply for the flag bearership, and later on he pulled out. He also resigned from being the national organizing secretary. And here is a young man who believes that the time is now, and I have a role to play to bring about this change. Hanga Yalla, and Pasamba would kind of laugh at me. Legi, daf de jaralal affaire ci nit. We all know the man wants to be president. He wants to bring about the changes that needs to happen. And he believes that the time is now. So when he came out to give this speech, he had goals that he wanted to achieve. And that is, as a country, remember his opening. He talked about the state of affairs of the country, why there is a need for change. Nobody will disagree with that. And then he focused on something else. He focused on the youth. Because you see, when everything is said and done, the destiny or viability of this country is in the hands of the young people. So this campaign, this movement is about the future. It's not about yesterday. This campaign cannot talk about Jammeh. We cannot forget, but we cannot focus on that. It has to be the future. That is why he talked about the state of affairs of the young people. He talked about the kids dying in the Mediterranean. So the goal was like, this is the Gambia that we have now. We all agreed, and then there is a need for change. It wasn't a policy prescription speech. That is going to come later. And then there was something else, a very difficult part. All of it in there was boy tas say. There are different ways to do it. You can be ugly about it. Monday, lima la defal yep, nga bitrema, yow do niti dara, buma xamone duma dugg ci sey bi. You can weaponize language and you can be nasty. But that's not who this person is. What he wanted to do is to come out and basically said that this is the party that made me who I am, which he did. Under the mentorship, leadership of Alhaji Ousainou Darboe, my father, the person who made me who I am today. He did say that, and he wanted to put that across. Remember what I said? Soita say, danko def ci yar ak teggin. You cannot be ugly about it. But anyone who is objective, you would know he clearly stated he was moving ahead away from the United Democratic Party. He said it in Wolof, and he said it in English, and the way he said it, he didn't say, hey, Dalman, gene na ci parti bi. No, he didn't say that. And he didn't have to say that. Panderi Mbay mune, muncha alakhira, wax ju egg dafa ko mom. So for this guy NPP topping all over the place, you should be bold enough to come and say, I resign. Well, everyone knows that the guy has actually moved on. And he wasn't going to be. So basically, what am I saying? For me, this speech, Banka, I have seen a lot of politicians give out speech in the Gambia. Last week, we witnessed, after Omar Baji was pretty much killed, a couple of days later, our current president gave a speech. We all saw that. Seriously. Low energy. And I don't want to be disrespectful. As if you're reading nursery rhymes. Our country deserves better. The status quo, banker. Adama Barrow is a good man. Really. He has done his bit. We all fought to liberate our country. Where we are today is better than where we were 10 years ago under Jammeh. I have said this and I'm going to say it again. Tuflite Adama Barrow more than Jammeh as far as I'm concerned. But the man is exhausted. You see, leadership is about passionate. It's about hungry. It's about thirsty. In the 21st century, you want to have it. You have to be ambitious. The man is not. He's intellectually lazy. He's not intellectually curious. Nyep hamun nyep. Bankamare doesn't know everything. Musa Jeng doesn't know everything. Seriang Maron doesn't know everything. But you need a leader who is very passionate, who is very intellectually curious, especially the times that we live in now. We want that person as a leader. We need to get away from that lethargy, that lack of energy. And I wrote it a couple of weeks ago. The fire is gone. The man is done. He's tired. Anybody who thinks the next 5 years you re-elect Adama Barrow, that he's going to do anything differently, you must be living in La La Land. The passion is not there. The intellectual curiosity is not there. We need change. Everybody knows that. And I believe, though, and I sincerely believe, that this unity movement for change has a potential to be that vehicle. Why do I say that? It starts with unity. We come here every Sunday, we fight on approaches and opinions and ideas, the battle of ideas. And in the greater political arena, that's going to happen. That's why we have different political parties. But when everything is said and done, then we want to talk about unity. We want to talk about finding the best person. He can actually unify the country. We need that as a country. Somebody who doesn't have all the answers, but we know has the experience and the capacity. And I think Talib has that. You see, when you talk about experience, you know, the First Republic, President Jawara was in his late 30s when he became premier. He did not really have experience in government. A very smart man, well-groomed, intellectually curious. He was a veterinary doctor. Amudon experience in government. Amudon experience in managing businesses. Managing budgets. Amudon experience managing thousands of people. He did not have that. And this was the dawn of independence. So some of the shortcomings of the First Republic had a lot to do with that. Not that the man wasn't smart. We were lucky, he was smart, but he had something else. He was also able to unite the country. That he has. Look at the people that surrounded Sadauda at that time. Most of them were headmasters. Some of them standard 4 education. Not much to talk about. Those were the shortcomings of that time. Then what happened in the Second Republic? We fell in the hands of a 29-year-old ambitious brute, a soldier. We all know how that ended. Mayhem, death, destruction. Nothing to really show for. Of course, he was able to build roads here, build roads there. Yes, he did. Actually, started the university. You have to give him that. There are things that Jammeh did. But when everything is said and done, he was not the best person for the job. Then 2016, everybody fought to remove him, replace him with Adama Barrow. Our current situation. A man that was not prepared. He did not have what it takes. He declared it and said, "Man, how much that your government? I need people to help me." Instead of surrounding himself with technocrats, he ended up surrounding himself with political operatives. They are in it for themselves. The Sekhumbalos, the Sidin Jais, the Fabakari Tombongs. Those are the people surrounding this person. And you guys seriously believe in the 21st century that is going to take this country to the next level? Absolutely not. For someone who did not have experience in government, doesn't have the capacity to govern, and then somehow you want to re-elect him to take the country to the next level? Gambia, really? That's what you want? Then we have an opportunity for unity movement for change under the leadership of Talib Bensouda. And again, I don't blame anyone. Banka did say it. He's going to wait and see. What is this thing all about? But the man has 8 years of executive experience. He has 8 years of managing budgets. He has 8 years of running a municipality. He knows the difficulty of managing people. He knows the challenges of managing a developing country. With all the difficulty running a municipality, when you have central government that speaks a totally different language. And we've seen the results. I think if the man tells you, "Give me a chance," at least he's much more prepared than where Sadauda was, million times much more prepared where Jammeh was, and no doubt, 100% much more prepared than Barrow. For us, we have to make a choice as a country. You see, the campaign of the on, the election 2021, we all know what the campaign was about. It's about saying, oh, you guys make it fear. That's what the campaign was all about. Is that what we want for our country? Seriously? That is what's going to develop this country? Seriously? What's going to develop this country is all hands on deck. And let's get away from that ignorant, low kind of politics. And we have an opportunity to do just that. As a country, for once, we see our neighbors in Senegal. Whatever they're going through a revolution, a change. The old guards are still hanging on, refusing for change. Gambia, we have to make up our mind. If you seriously believe that re-electing the status quo, that's what we need by 2031, that will be a mistake. And you know what? We can all sit here and say, well, I'm going to wait until this thing germinates. You know, it may not amount to anything. Trust me, you don't wait. People don't do that. Don't think of yourself as an ordinary person. You have a lot to offer. Join now and let's seize the opportunity. Take our country back and put it in the hands of people. This is bigger than Talib Bensouda. It's bigger than Talib Bensouda. It's about us as a people. We can seize the opportunity or we can squander it and allow these people, being launch a movement, being Jafur. Then Jafur. I sent something to Minister Silla. Small while anak. Maneko loy tit. Langay tit. And then I
No, you know he's trolling right now. You know that, right?
I know. Maneko loy tit. You know, we know how to do Gambian politics.
Yeah.
Yesterday I saw them. They said they raised 200,000 euro. You see, Serian, this whole, what I would call contest of how much money you've raised here and there, that is not what's important to us. Seriously, that's not what is important. There is not a single Gambian who doesn't know that the present status quo doesn't help the country. They know it. The question is always, can they be defeated? And I'm willing to hang my hat on this opportunity called Unite Movement for Change on the leadership of Talib Bensouda. And we want to keep it as unity. You mentioned something very important. This thing cannot be about weaponized language. It cannot be about disrespecting people. And I'm glad Talib said that. And he thanked the United Democratic Party that he was a part of. And he thanked Alaji Usainu Dabo that he's part of. And I'm going to say this, and this is just me. If the United Movement for Change becomes a party and make it about the United Democratic Party, they will lose. If the Unite Movement for Change form a political party and their focus is making it about the UDP, we will lose. It cannot be about that. It has to be about change and remove the present status quo and replace it with something different. And the focus should always be about that. Unite Movement for Change need to get away from the politics of whatever happened in the UDP. And me being part of it, that will be something that I will reinforce at every turn. The message has to be about unite, meaning unity. The message has to be about change. And when everything is said and done, it has to be about the campaign for the future, for the young generation of our times. This is what I believe in, and this is why I am part of this. Brother Marong.
Did Banka drop off or he's in the background?
I think he did. He's, going in and out. I'm gonna bank
I think the internet is bad today. Yeah,
His
Musa,
internet is bad.
I think it should excite every Gambian. I mean, who we on for change. It's not about. I think the bigger picture I look at is it's not about who formed the political party, but their messaging and their strategy and what they've put forward moving forward. That's the most important element of this conversation. Every Gambian, a politician, someday aspire to lead, maybe at a municipal stage, at a national stage, but that's their goal, whether they say it explicitly or implied, but we can read through the lines. So I think the focus here should be, it's exciting to have a bunch of political parties, whether that brings fraction elements into different areas. It's great that we can all settle in that one political party can just not defeat Barrow 2026. Everyone needs to come together. And I think what is important is, political, we don't have, in politics, you don't have any permanent enemies. Today, you might disagree with someone's stand, but tomorrow, you might share the same table with that person to bring him along. And I think it's very, very important for us, all of us across the board, to be measured in our utterances. Let's minimize personal attacks. It doesn't take us anywhere. It kind of give Barrow a pass with all the decimal issues that have been, written by journalists across. Audit reports every single day. That should be the focus. That should be the message that needs to go to the voters and say, hey, you lack basic hospital. You have a hospital in the province in so and so area. The women share one bed. When they have babies, they share 3 people share a bed. But they went ahead. They embezzled millions and millions of dollars without anything. Musa, look at even the audit report, for example. When they say they gave money to folks to import rice. If you look at that deficit, they said we're going to bring so and so amount, and they were short on that. Where did that rest of that go? Where is that money? Don't you think that money, Gambians should account for that? How about unretired impress that are out there? There was absolutely no accountability. And for how long do we need to go about that? So if you think a new person formed the president, you have nothing to say except attack that person day in, day out. I think you are missing a bigger picture. And the picture is not about your opponent. It's about the guy who occupied the state house. And Gambians, every Gambians across the board, should muster the courage to come together for the sake of Gambia. And if we dearly believe that the better days of Gambia are ahead of us, we need to stand firm in solidarity to resurrect this country that is going down in the drains. And we knew it. Development alone, Musa, that is not. We've seen during these rainy seasons, the roads that they just fixed. It's been flooded, but millions and millions have been pumped into that. You call that accountability? You want to maintain that status quo? Or do you deserve better? Does our kids need some type of vocational training to be self-sustained, to acquire jobs in the outside world, in the Gambia, make it self-sufficient? And I think if we really, really meant the smiling coast of Gambia, we all need to come together. We all need to come together to fight. And the guy, we cannot let our guards down. We cannot get personality gets into the way of the greater good of our majority. And I think that is very, very important. Sometimes you say words to people, they don't forget, they keep it. And I'm saying today, Respect people for their political views, for their political realignment. Move on. Talk about your policies. Talk about what you can offer, what your vision is for the country. Contrast that with the current status quo, and let's meet at the battlefield and talk about issues more appealing to voters. Gambians, they don't need, we've seen Soviets over Soviets. He's not the most popular president. He has vulnerabilities. But if you want to focus on someone, attack them 24/7, I think you are losing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture should be, let's continue to fight for a better Gambia. We all came together in 2020, so we thought, okay, that's it. But what disappointments? Disappointments over disappointments. And there are political realignments. We all were here 2016. There were mistakes made. Those mistakes haunt us up to today. But the idea of not even acknowledging that mistake, then that person needs to reflect on who we are as people. And I listen to these and I watch every single thing. I think we need to be very, very careful. And you know, the wild card that is waiting for us, if we fumble and we screw up, we let Barrow win just because we don't have our way. I think more is in the bag in 2031 and 2026 and beyond. He's not going to be restrained anymore. He's going to think that he has all the powers and he will get away with. That is the message. That is the threat that face Gambians, and Gambians needs to be aware of that. And that's just the truth. We must fight. We must stay a course, and the youths have a voice. Let's not forget that. Musa, 2021, I mean, the statistics say what? Is it 60 to 70% of the votes?
Youth.
Yeah.
Yes.
You cannot dismiss their concerns and what they want for our country. We need to listen to that. And there should be conversation, a one that is persuasive and what that lays out the vision for their future. And that is very, very critical, very, very important. We are all excited. Of course, we should be excited. I mean, you have a lot of people, you got energy and intensity, formation. Why? We should be excited. And that's what the Gambia we are all looking for. We sat here, Musa, many times we said, and I think Coach said that by attending the funeral service of Mr. Mbai today, we always talk about how Gambians are doing exceptionally well in the outside. You talk about the Rwandas, the Kenyans. They are doing things that are just commendable globally, and they had the credentials to show off. But when we look at our own country, within the composition of our government, we have people who can offer little beside the usual political grandizement. I think it's troubling, and I think this is a moment for us to all reflect on what do we want to offer. And how do we all engage in the political space to offer a different vision? Clearly, with what we are currently seeing in terms of appointments, in terms of day-to-day tasks in running our government, in day-to-day listening and engaging the voters and the Gambian citizen. It's not all about when election is about 6 months, we go out there, we make roads, we do this, we do this. For 5 years, they are neglected. We are tired of that. It's been 60 years and counting. Can we at least come together and offer something new? And I think whoever message resonate, persuade people will be victorious come 2026.
Thank you, Brother Marong. I was kind of just going through the commentaries. I mean, they are part of the program as well. And each and every one of you, definitely, I hear you loud and clear. Some said that I'm doing a PR job. I've said at the beginning, I'm going to do my very best. I come here every Sunday, like Brother Marong and Pap Samba, on my own accord, to do political analysis. And I'm going to continue to do that. But I also saw my hand that unite, movement for change. That's where I belong. And I'm going to do whatever it takes, not to lie to you, but to call it this way I see it. Whenever it becomes apparent, whatever the case is, whether it's a misstep or heading a different direction, I'll say it. I'm not a cultist. I'm not doing this for Talib or anybody else. I believe in him because I think he has a vision that resonates with me as an individual. See, but how did it all start? I think I have to be honest to myself and honest to the people that are watching. This program has been going on for a while. Most people don't realize that. Even during the Jammeh days, we were here saying the things that no one else, very few people will say that in the diaspora. And like most people, we have mothers and fathers in the Gambia and sisters. I remember my mother, she used to tell me, she's at a better place. She always used to say, Gunegi, baal ma Jammeh, maa ngi mag fi mu nekk, yéen a ngi nekk di wax rek te kii dafa soxor. Kii moo tax mënuloo ñëw ci réew mi. Te man mag laa fi mu ne. I was getting that. A lot of people were getting that pressure. So this platform has been around for a while, and that didn't stop me. And whatever happened, Yalla ñëw ak ay mbiram. And my mom went to a better place. But when everything is said and done, we are the Gambia as a country, we are better off. Now, like I said before, the change that we fought for, I'm not going to sit here and say that we haven't achieved anything. I'm not that kind of person. When I came from Gambia, I said the Gambia is on the move. I did say that. I also did say that President Barrow and his government, they are vulnerable, very vulnerable. Because the reality is, the NPP as a party, they have not been able to change the culture that we inherited from Jammeh. That culture, that zero-sum game, that you have to belong to be connected, to get somewhere. That hasn't changed, my friend. If you're a businessman and you're a business elite, if you do not endorse the government, most likely you're not going to make it. That's the truth. If you're a political elite and you don't speak the language of the government, that's the truth. And we want to change that. And we also happen to have a leader, a good man, who has not been able to, he's not equipped to fight the culture of corruption. Corruption is embedded in that country. Corruption has a lot to do with it. And we need to change that. I cannot sit here and tell you that he is corrupt certainly or certainly. I cannot say that as a Muslim. No, I cannot. But I also know the Adama Barrow that came into power back in 2016 and the Adama Barrow of today. Difference began. Yes. How has he become so rich? How has he become so powerful? Thus, the presidency has to be that. We need to query that. We need to look into that. Why is that every person believes that I either have to run as a National Assembly member or a ward councillor or be a political operative for me to become successful in that country? Why? Why does it have to be like that? And that's what we want to change. Look, I am very clear, and I honestly believe what I'm saying, that we need to give this Unite movement for change a chance. I also don't believe that it's going to take one individual to do it. It has to be a collective effort. If you remember back in 2019, 2020, after the 2016 that we all fought to create a new political dispensation in the country. And my observation was the politics of the times has become a binary choice. And I had a problem with that. That when we all fought together, I fought with Karamba Toure, Ibrahim Diba, Punkara, the guys from North Carolina, the guys from Seattle. We all came together, Save the Gambia, Kodek. We did what we had to do. We all had our different political party leanings here and there. So the whole fighting was when everything is done, if everything is said and done, we're going to create a political dispensation that everyone would participate in. I wasn't very happy that it became a binary choice and that I wrote a piece to the Standard and that got me in trouble. I talked about the insurgency within the United Democratic Party where led to NPP and UDP and that everybody else is left out. I had a problem with that personally because I didn't think that's what we fought for. So I talked about the third rail, that there is a need for a third force because I always believe that Gambians need to have a choice, an honest choice. It cannot be just restricted either Sariyang Marong Larek or Musa Jeng. I had a problem with that. How about if I don't want either? Where does that leave me? So our politics, going back to the Jawara era, it was always a binary choice. You either Per Njai or Jawara. And then it transitioned either Jawara or Sirif Mustafa Diba. Then later on, that's when Hassan Musa Kamara came into the fray. And then, of course, after Jammeh, the thing became pretty much like APRC or UDP. So when we fought for change, we wanted to change that. But we found ourselves, that's why I said the cultural politics did not change, that it was either UDP or NPP. Then I don't subscribe to that. I really don't. And I'm sure a lot of people don't. There are a lot of people that are unaffiliated that believe that we need a third option. And that is why, now, I wasn't just going to go for any third option, but why this one? Why not DOI? Why not GDC? Why not SFL? These are credible people, honest people. But I also wasn't born yesterday. And I'm a pragmatist. I look at results. I look at what can happen. I have my sympathies. I had my sympathies to most of these party leaders. Khalifa, for instance. I like his honesty, his integrity. I really do. And I still do. And I think if given an opportunity, he will take the country to another level. Alaji Usainu Dabo, that people always tell me, I hate him. They're wrong. I have said, if given an opportunity for him to govern, he will govern this country. I seriously believe that. I really do. But it comes down to one thing, Sariang. Ñine balanga na nam nefa. Unite Movement for Change. I see the possibility of winning. You can have all the ideas in the world. You can all have all these huge policies, the determination to bring about change until you have the opportunity to govern. It's just an idea. You want to bring about transformational changes? It's only an idea until you are able to win an election and be given the opportunity to govern. In Unite Movement for Change, I think Talib Bensouda is a winnable candidate. I really do. In my spirit, I do believe that. When I saw his launching, I'm like, this brother is heading somewhere. He's going somewhere. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to help that. And I'm counting a lot of Gambians who will be part of that part of this movement, because him alone, he ain't gonna get there. No way in hell. It's gonna take ordinary, regular people to make it happen. And that's the truth. And he said it. It's like, it is not about me. It is about the movement, and that is us. We seize the opportunity. You talked about audit reports. You talked about the corruption. You talked about what do we prioritize. We talked about the raison d'etre. The reason why we removed Jammeh was to bring about a constitutional change. 8 years later, we cannot get a new constitution. I can guarantee you, the first 100 days, Unite Movement for Change, they are in power, is a done deal. You know why it's a done deal? Because there is unity of purpose. You know why it's a done deal? You see, Sariang, when you're looking for a leader, look for a leader who is hungry. Look for a leader who is passionate. Look for a leader who is dynamic. That's what you need. That's what would bring about change. That's what will be able to, the difficult things will get done. We can't get a new constitution. You want to fight corruption? You cannot be seen or appear to be corrupt. You can't just pay lip service to it. You want to prioritize where we're spending our money, taxpayers' money? The first thing that you do is to look at that budget. And that budget would need a total overhaul. You have to prioritize what the country needs. And when I see that, when I say the country, it's not about the political elite. It's not about the business elite. Nineka in the greater Banjul area. No. There are a lot of poor people within the greater Banjul area that they cannot even afford housing. So we are going to need to prioritize. It's going to be a new day. And all I'm saying is we can seize the moment to do that. Or we always have the tendency to do this. Squander the opportunity with no end of finger pointing. Fighting party A, fighting party B, ki yayam Sindakla, ki yayam Golola, ki file joge, kalifalele joge, that kind of thing. And when everything is said and done, we have absolutely nothing to show for it. Again, an opportunity to bring change. Brother Banker, I see you back.
Very Monkey, looks like we have started campaigning already. Even shots fired. Shots fired.
Banker, I am watching. I am watching the guy go on automation. I'm telling you, it's so automated.
and you know what? You know what I noticed too. This looks like Musa. It looks like Musa has been getting ready for this moment for the past 5 years.
So.
This was the moment he was waiting for. He's like, you know what? This is it now. Finally, the moment has arrived. I'm gonna let it all out there. And this
Banga, you can hear and see the vigor, the intensity, and he is just telegraphing this whole thing. And I hope the movement folks are watching you, because I mean, you're giving them all the talking points.
Well, Talib has a campaign head now. I hope he's listening. That he has this. The campaign manager is already here, who is going to deliver Gambia for him. The strategist in the house, Father Boss. So, and I think, but look, I've heard part of what you said. I didn't, because again, I'm having some serious internet problems. I've heard part of what you said. And look, I gotta give it to you. And what this reminds me of personally is this. That, you know, for every Gambian, and I hope you always keep this at the back of our minds, because we tend to forget it. And that's what leads us into what you just said at the last segment of your speech, which is that needing haro ki lelela kelelela name calling, all these ad hominem attacks that we see all the time in our politics. Now, what every Gambian must recognize, and the takeaway from what you have just said right now is this: that for each and every Gambian you see, they harbor their dreams and aspirations for themselves, for their families, and for that country. Every single one of them. And so their actions are guided by those behaviors. Their actions are driven by their desire for that aspiration and dream. And we must, and every one of those dreams and aspirations are legit, they are valid, and we must always recognize that. Because if we don't, it's only in the moment that we don't recognize those dreams, the validity of those dreams and aspirations, that we tend to name call, that we tend to seek to control, that we tend to seek to have power over others. If Musa again decides to be this place, we call him names, how dare you kind of attitude. How dare you? You cannot do that. Who the hell do you think you are that you will go and believe something, that you will decide to believe otherwise? That you will decide to go a different direction, that you will decide to do something different than what we subscribe for you. And it cannot be like this. Because how you believe in your dreams and aspirations and whatever avenue or path you have decided on is exactly the same right that Musa has to do just that. And so now the battle of ideas is what must begin. Let people, if you believe that this is where Talib is the camp you believe in, go to Talib and vouch for that camp and fight for it vigorously. If you believe UDP is the vehicle or for change, by all means, fight for that and stand there and believe it. If you believe NPP should remain in power because they have a legitimate reason to stay in power, by all means do just that. And this argument can go for all the parties. This is the Gambia I want to see, because the multi-party democracy that is manifesting and the kind of vigorous campaigning that's just about to begin, and the kind of real robust fight and debate of ideas and the issues. This was the Gambia we fought for when Jammeh was in power, because that was what was lacking. Jammeh had decided you either are with him or you are dead. You either were with him or he fires you from your job. You either were with him or they will grab you and torture you and destroy your life, seize your properties. This was the Gambia we had, and this was why we had the struggle that we had. If Jammeh didn't behave like that, there would be no struggle. None. This was what we were fighting for. That lack of autonomy and agency and independence that that Jammeh denied us is why we had this struggle. So we must never forget this. So Talib's dreams and aspirations are legit. They are valid. Honorable Senator Dabo's dreams and aspirations are legit. They are valid. President Adama Barrow's dreams and aspirations are legit and they are valid. Mama Kande's dreams and beliefs are as valid as these ones are. I can go through the whole entire list and all the people that are throwing their hearts in the ring. So now, what is going to be necessary is people have to look at this and see, where do you cooperate? How do we cooperate? Do people come together to be able to sort of aggregate and make their positions even much stronger, or even make their numbers grow larger? These kinds of negotiations and discussions and conversations, I hope things will graduate to those at some point. And it's not only going to be you are terrible, you are bad, I'm the good guy, you are horrible, you are a monster, you are this and that, because that is not going to get us anywhere. That acrimony and animosity that has come to define our politics is what we need to graduate from and now shift into a whole new era of cooperation, working together. And Musa, that's why, in fact, I wrote something on my wall this morning, and I hope you saw it. That, the human relations can be very fluid. Cooperation today does not preclude opposition tomorrow. Somebody look at the people before UDP. We are running Talib Bensouda. Even they had songs for him all over the place. Today, Talib is the worst human being that God has ever created. Before that, Adama Barrow was the best thing. Adama Barrow was our Barrow, and before you know it, Barrow, even Ajame is better than Barrow. So they were talking in those terms. What I'm saying is, let us learn our lessons from this. Let us, as a country, understand that this is a wonderful thing for us. Let's celebrate this moment and let the campaigning begin. Let the manifestos come out. Let everybody show their hands. Let's know what you are about and what you intend to do. At the end of the day, wherever you choose to join, you have a God-given right to do just that. And we must not hold that against each other. Let's now debate. This is where we are, Musa. I wanted to say that to kind of reinforce the last aspect part that you said, because that in the end is going to be the real deal. That's what ultimately would decide what country we end up having. Because, people are going to be yelling and screaming at each other. How dare you? Why did this? These are the Iblis's people, and these are Muhammad's people, and Jesus's people. These are the good guys. These are the bad guys. Look, in the end, everybody is doing what they believe is the best avenue for the kind of dreams and aspiration to achieve the dreams and aspirations they have. And those are valid. Let's not invalidate those under any circumstance. I wanted to just say that and yield to Saria.
Brother Marong, yeah.
Faramos, I would definitely like to review and read Binet Bojang, what she wrote when she said she's gonna find a new home with the movement.
Binet Bojang, who is Binet Bojang? For some people that don't know.
Binet is a young lady fully affiliated with UDP, originally from, I think it's Cloro. Is it Cloro? Yes, I think so. Good friends with Dabo's daughter, Fenda. And if you know Binet, Binet is UDP, without absolutely no doubt. She lives in Leeds. And she wrote something, and I think sometimes if people take certain action, like Banka said, we should not question their motive and we should not vilify, but we should encourage them and read into what their reasoning is. And I would like to go on the record to just read what Binet wrote on her page. And Binet said, jokes aside, when I joined politics, it was never for power, never for a seat in parliament, nor a little before my name. I joined because silence was too heavy to bear, because the dictatorship crossed my voices, because I wanted to be more than a spectator in my own country. I wanted to stand with a party that echoed my heart, a party that carried the people's dream, their sweat, their stubborn hope. The party was the United Democratic Party, and Baba, our Baba, Ousainou Darboe, became more than a leader. He is a father, a symbol of resistance, a man who bore the people's burden on his shoulders. For 6 elections, we marched behind him. We lifted his name high, even when victory slipped through our fingers, sometimes cruelly, sometimes mysteriously. But we stayed because the fight was bigger than one defeat. Under Baba's watch, young men and women with fire in their veins join us. Visionaries, builders, leaders in waiting. Among them stood Talib Ahmed Bensouda, a son of the struggle, a fresh wind, a sign that baton could be passed. I love Baba too much to deny his sacrifice, too much to belittle the years he carried us. When hope no longer drains through resignation, when the people's faith is restored, Baba has run a good race. He has raised the bar. From him came many like him, and there is no shame in resting. Only greatness in knowing you built a house strong enough to stand after you. Between my love for UDP and my desire for a salvage Gambia through Talib, thanks to the United Democratic Party, where I feel at home. We are not enemies, but we are fighting one cause, which is for Barrow to go. Thank you all. This is from Binet.
That's deep.
Knowing Binet, this piece, she spoke from her heart, without malice, but with what she said as a young lady who grew up defending United Democratic Party. And when I see people attacking each other, even in my segue, and Banka just repeated it. Banka is in Gambia. He knows what is being said in the homes and how people feel. Binet cannot be denied that she was a bona fide member of UDP. She stood, she defended, but today, when she think about it, she said, I need to move on, I need to realign myself. I think people need to respect people's opinion. If we say democracy, it's just not about but punching people. You just clearly articulated here about Banka, the reason why there was a resistance against Bajame. Why people stood up, organized, and fight against dictatorship. Convince people. There were several efforts that were taken to bring people together to form a united front to fight against Jammeh. It didn't happen. It failed. But ultimately, 2016, people seen that is the moment. And I think if we see all the emergence of these different political parties, what it tells me is this is the moment. And we need to rely on the moment. Whether you want to stay with United Democratic Party, that's okay. When someone move on to another party, it's okay. Let's get to the battlefield. The commander's intent is very, very clear. Whenever, and I have to drive it to this military thing or a little bit. Whenever we have operations, we go in and the commander's intent is clearly spelled out. If we're going with the CBs, I've been embedded with the CB several times, we have a route. That route has been clearly mapped out. Where we really felt that there is going to be an enemy that might shoot us on our convoy, and we clearly map our convoy routes. This is what it is. It's clearly mapped. Every one of them who form their political party, their goal is very, very clear. Very clear. The goal is to remove Jammeh from power. And everyone needs to take a break and reflect on these things, because at the end of the day, what is very, very clear on surveys, on data, correlation in making should be what we need to shoot for. And there is no permanent enemies in politics. You have to be able to persuade one another to come forth. And I think this one, ultimately, whether it's the Ahmed Bensoudas, the Sahos, Lamines, Mama Kandes, the Esafals, the Marisak of the world, they will ultimately, and the Seka, they will come together and forge a united front. That will not take ego. It will not be on my way or the highway. It will be about unity based on clear articulation of policies and directions and the assurance to Gambian voters what is possible in the future. And I think with that, we need to be careful. These young folks, they are not saying this out of bloom. We have to read to their message rather than vilifying them. Somehow they are aligning themselves because of some personality or personal gain. What personal gain? What I haven't worked for, being in the United States, what can government give me? People need to be careful. And I'm telling you, I'm going to emphasize this again and again. 2026 It's not going to be about forcing people, intimidating people to vote. It's about persuasion. It's about tapping into people's emotions. And fundamentally, rolling out a roadmap that's going to salvage Gambia from the current predicament. I think that is the message. And I think people just all need to reflect on that. It's very, very, very important. Each and every one of them offers something. But the excitement and intensity, people have to celebrate that. And people, if they feel like they need to move around, they need to move. They have the right to do that. And no one for that matter should vilify and insult them. That's their right. Musajan, you are behind. Talib, you are behind. What proof do they have? You sit here. You said you and I have arguments, heated arguments here before. But today I am excited because there's a new maybe. It's my right. I'm nobody. Trust me, nobody question what I will say when I come to this platform, what I write on my platform, because on my Facebook, because that's my page. And I've been around enough to understand the moment, and this is the moment. We all need to reflect, and we need to all be excited and vow for our candidate who we believe has the right policies and who can articulate their vision to the Gambian voters. I think that's very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you much, Brother Sariang, and thank you, Banka. And thank you for our viewers and everybody that is contributing. It's nice to read some of these comments. But I just want to caution all of us, in as much as you may not like what I say, or you may not like what Banka says. I mean, let's kind of keep it civil. I mean, we don't really have to insult each other. I mean, I don't like the idea of deleting comments or even blocking people. I mean, that doesn't sound very democratic. But I mean, we can kind of keep it decent. You insult my mom has nothing to do with it. You know, she's in the heavens. She got nothing to do with it. So let's just keep it clean, guys, really. Whatever you think my motivation is or why I'm doing it, I'm going to address some of the questions raised. They say, you never supported Talib when he was in UDP? That's one person just said. And I just want to let the person know that I endorsed Talib Bensouda when he first ran for, mayor, when he had absolutely no chance. I mean, we don't think that he had a chance of winning at all. And the only reason I did is because after Banka, you were here, we interview him, we interview Bakari Baji, we interview Kisanta Njai, quite a few of them during that time. A whole lot of people were running, and the Doi guy that Pasamba ended up endorsing. I endorsed Talib because I saw something in him. For me, party has never been, in as much as I get attacked that I don't like UDP, that's not always the case. I mean, and I don't support on Nyaka. I mean, what people are insinuating is now I'm supporting him because he left the UDP. I'm talking about keeping it clean, even when you disagree with people. I live with, Kasa, here in Atlanta. We've worked together. We've done a lot of things, great things in Ajera. And Kasa supported the United Democratic Party, 100%. You know, I mean, she doesn't even mince her words out there doing her social media thing. Kasa knows that I'm not a supporter of the UDP. And when we meet, then we'll just laugh about it and talk about it. She has never said anything nasty to me. I've never said anything nasty. And then all of a sudden, as chance, now here I am talking to Kasa, strategizing with her. And that tells you that sometimes life has a way, strange bedfellows. When you engage people, even if you disagree, just do it with respect. There are people talking about whether it's Binet Bojang or Kemo or Ibrahim Adiba. Anybody who thinks that these people, they're leaving United Democratic Party and they're Baba, and that's an easy decision, then definitely you are not really fair. That is one of the most difficult things that these people can, making a decision like that. Kemo, UDP is in their DNA. That's who they are, going all the way back to 1996. So don't think me just out of personal ambition or and you know what is sad? And I mean really sad. When people think me, when you're joining movement with Talib daf la day jox xaalis, and that's why you're doing it. And I think not only that is naive, but it's stupid. You seriously believe that this guy is giving these people money and that's why they're supporting him? Seriously? I know of, and I'm not going to name names, people that I disagree with, absolutely disagree with. They live here in the diaspora. They supported the UDP. They were holding top positions. Whenever I come on this platform and I criticize UDP, they push back. Now they are no longer part of the party. I don't think these people are traitors. So the question then becomes, why are these people leaving the party? We can all speculate all we want. Is it because the policy prescriptions have changed? Is it because they don't still respect Baba Hussein? I don't think that's what it is at all. I really don't. They have inner battles within themselves. They supported a party, but they were not just supporting the party for supporting the party's sake. They want to bring in a UDP government, and they believe in that. That in UDP, we can bring about the changes that we aspire going all the way back to 1996. Within their camps, some of them, they've come to the realization that the only way we can achieve the dream of the leader himself, the only way that we can achieve the dream of the party and get ourselves to the state house, we have to face the reality. This is them now. And the only way that can be done, if we do it this way, I mean, you can disagree with them. They don't know anything that we don't know. They can't read the future. Maybe it's not going to amount to anything. But that is the reason why they make this shift. And it's not easy. For somebody like me, I'm not making a decision of anything. I have been an independent observer. Some people are saying, you already got your wish. You always hated UDP now. No, it's not that, really. That's a very easy way of doing it. I'm not doing it because I want to be part of a future Talib Bensouda's government. No, trust me. I'm not doing it for anything like that. Absolutely not. I believe that come 2026, we need change. We need to try somebody else. And I also believe, like the people that left UDP, that through Talib, he's a winnable candidate. Yaakaar rek laa am and hope. I think he can beat Adama Barrow. Somebody said, Musa, you've always said that victory can only happen through the UDP vessel. I did say that. I did, absolutely. But you see, things have changed. Things have seriously changed. Can victory be achieved without the United Democratic Party? It's going to be a huge challenge. I'm not a dreamer. It's going to be difficult. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, because look, the Adama Barrow NPP juggernaut is not going to be easily removed. If anyone who is supported this Unite movement for change think that this is just going to be done a walk in the park, you don't know what you're talking about. Come January 2027, you will be very disappointed. Because it ain't going to happen. It's going to take much, much, much more than that. It's going to take much more than a Talib Bensouda to bring about victory. Man mala wax li and take it to the bank. Unite movement for change cannot afford a single mistake. And they have to broaden the base, and they have to bring in other political parties. And Gambians, we seize the moment, then we bring about the change. We're not interested in replacing Adama Barrow and the NPP, even though it's nice not to see Sidin Jai anymore. It'll be nice not to see Fabakary Tombong anymore. It'll be nice to send Adama Barrow back to Mankamankunda. But that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to bring about the change that we aspire going back to 2016. And we haven't been able to achieve that. That is the goal. Some ask, we haven't gotten the policies yet. Change, yes, okay. But change for what? Good question. And I'm hoping that the movement will be able to start. Like I teased Nyom Juka one time. I'm like, where is the beef? You know, well, all I see is a frame. And I have a feeling. I listened to, and I think every Gambian should go and listen to the town hall meeting. And you listen to the man himself, and I'm sure he's going to have sit-down interviews. Questions are going to be asked. What do you intend to do? When you say change, what does that mean? Fair questions. We're going to bring him on this platform, and we will ask the specific question. We're going to challenge him. You said, let's unite. Let's change. Politicians said that in 2016. The culture hasn't changed. How are you going to be different? And we're going to push him. Like I said, I'm not a cultist. I don't support an individual or tout him. Talib Bensouda cannot do anything for me. Trust me. And I'm not being arrogant about it. I'm just being honest. That's not what's motivating me. I believe that we need change in 2026, and this is a vehicle and a vessel that can be utilized to do that. Do I believe that Talib himself alone can do it? No. He needs help. He needs other political parties to come together. We need to sit down. That is why I have a serious problem with anybody making this thing like the people of the UDP that are leaving and try to go back and forth. You never know when you're going to need them or when they're going to need you. This picture can change, huh? Bulakenna. This thing can change. So let's be careful what we say to each other, because we may just need each other. 1 year, 6 months is a long time, my friend, in politics. When the Unite movement for change realized that, okay, when the enthusiasm is gone, when the excitement is gone, and then you are dealing with the reality, decisions are going to be made. Strategic decisions if you believe that you want to win. Why if you are just in it for the feel good, that ain't going to cut it. At some point, decisions are going to be made. Decisions that you believe, do you want change? Or do you want change for certain conditionalities that it has to be about me? If it becomes very clear that Talib will not be the change agent that can make it happen without making a deal with some other people, that could happen. So, bottom line is, for people asking, how can Unite Movement for Change be able to defeat an incumbent? I said, well, I like what I see already. I really do. I seriously do. And we just have to watch and then see what this thing is going to amount to. But if there is one thing that I know, there is a serious potential. So gisee ñoom Ibrahima Sila yëpp ñu ngi jaxle ñu ngi tiit ñoom Sabally ngi tiit ñu ne tiitaay boobu is not just out of nothing there. It's not like Musa Jeng forming a party de nga xam ne they won't even remember my name. I told you How many people have formed parties for the past few months? All of a sudden, they're concerned. They're using words like amateurists. But
Paramos, very, very, very interesting. You mentioned Ibrahima and Sabali, and how about Demba Sabali as well? But the president himself, the president himself, when he sat down having an interview, I was laughing. And yesterday I was talking to someone, and I was like, he said, what a baffling statement. What a hypocritical statement. This is the man.
What did he actually say?
So Mandingol go thinking tell ko alanga da nyo dandang. That's what it is. You if you've been watching politics, you would understand where this whole thing is coming from. So here he was saying, he said, since he's been in UDP, he has never disputed the advice of the elders. He said, and in fact, he named Useno and says, Nenamang Usen Lokumo So. But this is the president who dismissed 3 of UDP members out of his cabinet. He dismissed Dabo from the vice presidency. He went on several campaigns and disrespect him directly, and we have audios of that.
Of course.
So you can tell the hypocrisy of that whole thing. And I was just like, very interesting. If you really think this man is give you a good advice, you better think otherwise. And this amateurist stuff, and you seen my response to Demba. I think Demba becomes too much. He becomes too much, and I think he needs to tap down a little bit, because you've been given that position. You cannot come out there on a campaign trail and be bombastic, not measure in your utterances, threatening people, saying stuff that is distasteful. And I think we can all vie for your position, talk about your achievement, but don't demonize people, breastfeeding nonsense. That's just nonsense. We all know that. And some of us who know him, we don't even want to go down that path. You don't want to do that. You see what I'm saying? So I am trying to tell him to be very respectful. Talk about MPP. You are the second vice president or fourth vice president. People don't care about all that. But don't be disrespectful. Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. But yes, you are very right. Ibrahim Silla, he's trolling me still now. I'm even talking. But Musa, I think you are saying that you're not gonna delete people, but I think we encourage divergent views on this platform. And I'm gonna single out one person, and he has a fake profile. Mose Walters has nothing. Huh?
I just deleted him. Be like,
okay, very good. And I really think it's this is what we've been saying.
Yeah.
It's not that, but politics, you have to be like-minded. You can be passionate about issues, but don't be insulting people. Don't be like making unpleasant comments about people. We all meet on this space and all that. I think people need to be respectful. What Musa Jeng has to say, what everyone else is going to say, So I really think we just need to kind of be cognizant of that one and behave in it, So, and your boy is trying very, very hard.
I know.
He said we did not talk about MPPs fundraising numbers in Spain. But what I realized as an outsider, and boy can correct me, what I see was the way United Democratic Party do their business, especially in foreign, especially if they say they are doing in the diaspora. The diaspora folks are in charge. They run the show. What I saw there was they got their overrated, lightweight politicians who came out there, excluding my sister, Maimuna. They came out there, they fill out the tables, and they were giving space. His political mentor, Fabu Sani, I didn't see Fabu speak. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see him speak.
He was there. I don't know whether he spoke or not.
But he was not on the camera. But Musa and Fabu supposed to have a center. I also observed that Ibu Ba was there. I didn't see them get the center stage. I saw Amegite on Facebook Live. But my fundamental question is, where is the structure? MPP is the government. And Minister Silla, you are watching this, you can text me, it's okay. But what I see missing was you got your people from Africa coming out there stealing the show in Spain. And the people who are your foot soldiers, who are your battalion commanders, they were pushed on the side and they were sitting there. And I definitely would like to hear that. I'm not even going to talk to about the amount that was raised there, but I think
no, they said they raised over 200,000 euros.
That's what they said. I mean, they said they raised. I didn't see the pledges. Of course, I was not following, but what I can see is I didn't see Fabu speaking at the event. And I think Fabu is a firebrand. He knows that. I know that. I made you this, and there was a bunch of guys who came in, and I didn't see that. So they in fact they introduced Faseku Kujabi as the diaspora chairman. That just through my observation, and Boy Fati can correct me, and he can even call him to challenge me on this. It's okay, all right. But they introduced Faseku Koli. But when Maimuna came in, Maimuna said someone's name. So I was kind of need clarity on that. Who is the real diaspora chairman, right? Mm-hmm. So these pieces we pick it up. I mean, don't think we're not paying attention. We pay attention. And Maimuna spoke, but among the diaspora, I didn't see anyone from the Spain diaspora chapter there who spoke on behalf of MPP. And that kind of brings my question to, do they really have a very strong structure in Spain? But Honorable Minister, you can text me, Boy Fati, you can let me know, no problem. But I'm just trying to see, man, because I think the Yellow Cousins, at least they have a structure and they are in charge. They execute from planning to execution phase. So, but I'm happy to listen to you.
Something tells me when Boy Fadi called me, he was all excited. Hey, did you see how much money we raised in Spain? I'm like, how much? Like over 200,000 euros. I'm like, okay, how many people were there? It's like, what do you mean? Like, dude, how many people actually contributed that 200,000 euros? You see, this is the thing with NPP most of the time. And this is the politics that I've always have a problem with. It's always about the UDP. UDP came and said they raised $200,000 or whatever from Seattle. They have to come and say, oh, we outmaneuvered them. We raised 200,000 euros. Even if they have to fluff it, they would just do that for the hell of it. I mean, and the question I asked him jokingly was, I want to see the bank account of that 200,000.
So the real transaction. Musa, the thing about this whole thing, where some of us are excited, we've seen the psychological warfare that's been employed within the past 10 days, and we're paying attention there. We're there definitely. So some of these things I laugh off and I say, yes, you can brain us and all that stuff, and but 200 and something. Let's show. Their boys. When we did this, they question it. Yes. So we are please Saria,
Musa Sedi.
you see,
What?
so so is the bank statement, Fathers. If boy can and he can call in, I look forward him calling in. You know one thing that I want us to engage in civil discourse.
Yes.
If you think you have a case to make, by all means, volunteer yourself next Sunday. Come out here and have a conversation. Share your ideas on the platform. No one is restrained. We will do it with decorum and with respect. So it's not a problem. Don't insult people. Don't attack people personally. You have a different view to offer, different perspective. Come on the show by all means. This is an engagement and it is continuous. So please, by all means, come on, come down and join us. That's what the spirit of democracy is all about.
I really like that. And
Yeah.
Sariang, and this is what I'm going to say. When we say that this is an independent platform, and I've always said this, Musa Jeng have his own biases. Sariang Marong does, Pasamba does. Human beings, we're all biased in our way. It's an independent platform, meaning anyone can come here and let's agree to disagree. That's what we are saying. If you believe that this whole Unite Movement for Change is a joke and it's not going to amount to anything, trust me, I'll send you the link and you will come to this independent platform to say just that. So when we say it's an independent platform, it means nobody owns it. All right? Nobody, absolutely nobody owns it. If we have an interview and we are going to be the one asking the question, we are going to push back whoever the person is, irrespective of whether I agree with him or not. I said the day that Talib will come on this platform, all of you will be my witness, whether I'm going to be asking him the Larry King questions, you know what I mean, or whether I'm going to push him and ask the tough questions. I will ask the tough questions. But when we say it's an independent platform, meaning everything, anyone, seriously, can come on this platform and speak your mind. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, nobody pays me. I wake up every Sunday and I come here. I mean, I'm going to say the things that I want to say to the best of my ability, and the way I see it, with all the inherent biases that's in me. I mean, that's just the truth. So to think now I'm going to come here, somebody said, Musa Jeng, I always thought you were NPP. You know what? All I've always done is to play the devil's advocate and give credit where credit is due. When I said syndicator and their policy prescription, when it comes to, these SOEs, I still believe that. It hasn't changed one bit. Seriously, it hasn't. So if you take that and translate it to Kidafa support NPP, I cannot help you on that. That's you. Because I'm not into this politics of, I don't support this party, so whatever they do is nonsense. I have to be against it. No, I don't play that. I seriously don't. And I believe in, somebody said, but Musa Jeng, okay, you're supporting this party, but they haven't rolled out policies. Don't you think that's a little bit too early? What they're saying is they haven't even launched a party yet. What they're doing is they said, let's come together, let's unite to bring about change. That's the vision. Unite to bring about change. Strategies are going to be put together to kind of help that unity. Because everybody knows that a single individual or a single party will not be able to do it. But we can unite to bring about change. And when we talk about coalition this time around, it will not be about let Sariang Marong and Musa Jeng come together, let's party A or party B come together. The parties are going to sit together and they're going to put the change agenda on the table. We want to bring about change. What kind of change do we want to bring about? So the discussion is going to center on that. And that's what we failed to do in 2016. When you know what happened in 2016, time was not on our side. Alliances were put together to defeat And I tell you, I used to go to every platform from Freedom to Fatu Network. When most people did not believe that it can be done, I believed that coalition was possible. I was called Mr. Coalition because whenever comes out of my mouth is coalition, because I thought coalition is the only way to remove Jammeh. And whatever shortcomings we're looking at, all of us can agree that we are at a better place. All of us can agree, pat ourselves on the back, that we are at a better place. Now, but that's not where the destiny is. We want to take it to the next level. But this time around, a coalition that's going to be put together, the focus, the center is going to be about the change that we are going to bring. We have 1 year, 6 months to do just that. So we will all agree on that platform, those changes, and these are going to be specific, not nuance, not platitudes, not generalities, specific changes. If we say the first 100 days, whoever is the coalition leader with a governing council or lack thereof, that they agreed to do this, they will engage the National Assembly, because the current National Assembly is still going to be in place when this change would happen with a new leader. So this new leader will bring the majority leader, minority leader, voices in the National Assembly, in the State House, sit down and say, okay, 4 type of business would be the constitution. Let's find common ground to give the Gambian people what they want. First time, we will agree, we will cook it, and it will be done.
Musa,
Checklist.
everyone is talking about Saul's charm insulting people. I mean, make sure that is deleted. Or if he's not gonna behave, or he's not gonna,
yes, Sal, you come here every Sunday, and
yeah, that's just very
timey jammy. And sorry, I need to take this call. Just keep talking.
Okay, all right. So basically, what we're saying is, if we condemn others, we must condemn you too. So I mean, we don't come here for you to be attacking other people, especially a tribe. You know, you guys need to be measured. Okay. The reason why we sat on this platform and what we're saying today, it is in line not because it's going to benefit us directly, but I really think these type of utterances endangers our society. And I don't know how old you are, but I'm telling you, we live in the Gambia long enough that cohabitance in a peaceful and respectful manner is very important. And don't insult people. Don't insult people. It's very disrespectful. It tells more about who you are and your upbringing than the person, because you obviously you have nothing to prove. You resort to insult to prove a point. So I really, really think you should reflect on your behavior. Okay, I think it's very, very, very important. Okay, yeah, it's very, very important. Yeah. So I don't know who you are, whether you are hiding behind a fake profile. I don't know, but I really, really think you need to be careful. Okay. Yeah. You just need to be careful. So we're a hypocrite. We're this. We're this. It shows more about who you are. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can say all the things you want. I'm not going to go down that route with you. Okay. Yes. So Musa, if he continue, I don't think he wants to apply. Just take him off this platform. That's it.
Because we need to what time be balamone. You saw a little bit of respect. You know, we don't know each other. And I mean, you see Pasamba come here and calls me the old man. I refuse to be an old man, but I have adult children. You know, I have 27 and 30-year-olds. So I've been around. I mean, and my respect matters to me. That's why I never insult anyone. Never. You know, I mean, we just have to kind of chill a little bit. But this idea of just disrespecting people and insults because you don't like what we are saying. Man, I don't even mind hypocrite. I mean, you wanna call me hypocrite? That's fine. I mean, I don't see. I mean, there are some things that I would be willing to take. I mean, because anytime you come out on the public domain and you say things, I mean, some people are gonna get angry at you. Why bunyan sagantere? I mean, I don't think that it's worth it, really. I mean, dara jaru kofi, But again, Sarian, like we were saying, this 2026 is a year, 6 months away. It's a long time. And I also understand that some other parties are on the way. People are going to be forming parties. And we just saw one. There was an interview. This lady, Nene Cheyasin,
Yes.
and this guy, Saho, he was on Coffee Time. Smart. I mean, listening to both of them, articulating their position and giving their rationale for forming a party. And I respect that. And now, in as much as I have issues with people just coming out of nowhere and just forming a party, but it's their democratic right. Pasamba calls it the more the merrier. For me, I have a different take. I think that, I mean, just forming a party for the hell of it, I'm not sure whether it's helpful to the process, especially when you don't have any chance of really winning. But some would say, I mean, who knows? I mean, anybody who wants to put his heart in the ring should be free to do that. I mean, and I respect that. But I also do not want the thing to be seen as like a clown show, I told Pasamba. I mean, I'm not one of those people who believe in that. I think serious people should be forming parties. And I listened to the Saho guy on Coffee Time. I mean, he talked about what he has done. He lived here in the US, worked in corporate America, has done this, has done that, went back home and built his business. I mean, he came across as a serious guy, But what are his chances? It's not for me to say. And that is why when people say that, why a movement? Why don't you just come and form a party? I'm like, okay, relax. Forming a party, that's the easiest thing to do. It doesn't take a lot to do that. To come online and say, I'm calling a party, Manko or Dandimayo United Party, I can do that tomorrow, and then come here and be talking about what the party intends to do. But for me, that's silly, So for Unite Movement for Change, they're saying we need people to come together. We need to share like-minded people that recognize and understand that change needs to happen in 2026. And together, then the next phase of this will be launching a party. So everything has to be very methodical, and you have to think it through. You don't just form a party for the hell of it. Serious person who really in it to win it. No, maybe you don't just jump and just form a party just like that. That's not going to do it. We've seen parties that have been formed Boy has been around for 40 years. I mean, so it's not easy. So let's allow this thing. But again, like I said, bro, I'm hopeful. I'm enthusiastic. I like what I see. I mean, the Unite Movement for Change was started a couple of days ago. I saw Talib basically saying that they've already registered 5,000 people. I mean, that's a lot to get it started, and we're going to do a lot more work, definitely. But as for this platform, people that think that it's only going to be a PR no, it's not. Seriously. I mean, we're going to come here every Sunday and we're going to talk about the issues. We're going to do analysis. We're going to talk about how does victory look like. And talking about that, I saw Natamas. I like Natamas. You know, I like people that kind of very analytical. Really. And this is what he said. And Karamba has been saying this also, that it's good that they're having a third force that can bring in a lot of voters. Because what they're looking at, if the third force can drain, because they think, again, this is their analysis, that the UDP base is solid. In whatever third force you bring, it can only drain votes from the incumbent. That's their thinking. And they do the math, and they tell you how this can actually help UDP. It's possible. I say, if the UDP is going to win, that could be one way that it can happen. Really. If they happen to win come 2027, results are announced, and Baba is heading to Marina Parade, that would be the path that could take him through. Now, am I completely sold? No. I listened to Nadamas. I don't think his math add up. But I also recognize that that is a legitimate path. In 2021, Karamba was making the same argument. He said, as long as we have, and this was the coming up of SFL, if ESA can make it very competitive, with DOI making it very competitive, that may just give them the edge that they need to defeat Adama Barrow. Karamba made that argument. I mean, everywhere he goes, that was his strategic way of looking at this. Of course, we all know how that ended. It didn't work out. Could it work out this time? Why didn't it work out? And I think Nata kind of touched on that a little bit. And he talked about how people, basically the ones that were supposedly supposed to potential voters to DOI or potential voters to ESA, decided that, you know what, by doing that, we would be voting for UDP. So they made the calculation and voted for Adama Barrow, which led to the victory. And that's how Nata, but then Nata is saying this time around could be different, especially if you have a viable candidate. I mean, like a Talib Bensouda, for instance, with a very good possibility of he can win it. That might allow people to stay and vote for the person that they want and not necessarily vote against the person that they don't want. Which, to me, it makes sense. That's one way of looking at it. If you're really going to strategize, because every political party, when you form a party, you have to be able to see a path to victory. If you can't establish that path, bulay tangkal ninyi fini. Then you're sonal rek, because there's no path for you. And one would ask, do I see a path for victory? For Unite Movement for Change? Yes, I really do. And mine is not just wishful thinking. The separate polling that just happened reinforced that path for me. When 63% said they will not vote for the United Democratic Party, when over 60% said they will not vote for NPP, and these are the two major contenders, that tells me that they are searching for an alternative. And I would like to believe that Talib is that alternative, because the polling data also reinforced that. Over 50% of Gambians wanted him to run. So, is there a path? Yes. Now, what you do with that path, that's what's going to make the difference come 2026. And I have no doubt the people that are behind him, working with him, they're going to focus on that. And Sariang, I just want to say this. Not that I'm afraid or anything like that. You text me something a couple of days ago, somebody saying that I have been I'm the one who's been behind this thing all along in the diaspora, and now I have it my way. Bro, I wish I was that influential, but I'm not. Trust me. Bilai, I'm not. I absolutely not. I am part of this, yes. I'm supporting it, absolutely. But in terms of Mako Ngente, Mako create, unless I wanna Naksuma Bopa, no. They were bigger boys, bigger foes. They wanted, let me say this. Whatever you see, that's exactly what Taliban should have wanted. No one has convinced him to do this. You don't do these things by people just convincing you. You do it because you want to do it. I don't have a problem people giving me those accolades. I would love to believe that I'm that influential, but I'm not. All I have is an opinion, like everybody else. But to think that this whole thing was cooked up and they use things like when I said one time that Talib can be a formidable force. This is an opinion. That was not orchestrated or planned with Talib or anything like that. Talib doesn't know me. No, now he knows me. But then he didn't know me. He doesn't even know who my wife is, who my kids is. He cannot tell you that. He has absolutely nothing. He doesn't know anything about me. Except my public utterances. That's all he knows. That's it. So this is not some kind of conspiracy and no, it's not. I don't need to explain, but I'm just being...
And Musa, just to be fair to you too, I mean, you cannot tell Talib what to do. This is all what he aspired to do, and they've been talking about it for many months, and they've even acknowledged it on some of their writings, some of them. So this is nothing to do with you. But further down, if you watch what Ibrahima said today, I just during your speak, I just listened to what Diba said when he stood on that platform. I think, and there's a deep reference. The reason I read Bennett's piece, but I also wanted to kind of look at things in a broader perspective with an open mind. But the first thing Ibrahima said, he said, "Nenema mira, mbelola platform moto." Min manke UDP la platform de ka diamo ka Gambia nol diamundi puru ye carte di mola mia lonka manke UDP. This is what he said. He says, "Ala damale wono. Anunga ke min kama. Na Gambia damale je Gambia killing puru Gambia tanya." This is what he said, Musa. This is what he said.
And I believe him.
This is what he said.
Yeah, I believe
This is what he said. This is what he said. He says, "Kuoku." He said, "Akuoku sababu bala watu bala alaleka keri baki kete alaleka kuobekeno." This is what from and I'm quoting him what he just said. I just listened to him what he said. Yes, and he continued to lay out what he believes in. Musa, I think back in the days when there's protests in Seattle, Jammeh days, there are few people that show up. I drive from here to Seattle, meet them, the Surahata Fatis, the Baldes, Demba Balde, Alaji, what is his name? Alaji Soul.
Yes.
Alaji Fabu, Ibrahima, and Boys, Sidikan. But what I'm trying to say is, this man stood there and said this. What is the reasoning behind it? You have to listen to the analysis very, very deeply. And when Kemo resigned, Kemo said he fought with this. There
Yes.
are people who stick with UDP up to today. The people like Sekou, Natama said it hurts, but there was a lot of praise for Kemo.
Mm-hmm.
And but why? The question comes in, why now? And don't underestimate that question. I want all of us who are in the political arena, who sits on, are passionate about politics, to reflect deeply on these conversations. Are they speaking in line with what the majority of the voters are feeling? What are they hearing? This is something I wanted to expound on and do a deep analysis and hear what they have to say. Because obviously these are the people. Kemo has been a counselor. He has interfaced with youths and all that. And he came onto this platform and he was very grounded, understand the gravity of our time. So you gotta understand, instead of criticizing him, I think you need to listen to him. And I would definitely like to engage Kemo and understand what his line of thinking is, to grasp to have a good grasp of what he's thinking and what the political landscape looks like. So Musa, always a political party, you want people to come together. You want to attract folks who will not be your normal voters. And as I said, the way you take care of business, especially when issues arise as a political party or as an organization, it determines more. It feeds into your sophistication. If hadn't been the government's been given or the country's given to you to run, you should be able to tackle the challenges heads on. And I think that's where I'm putting my emphasis on. And unit cohesion, organization cohesion is important, Musa, especially when there is fracas and there is so much chaos and all that. The way you manage it, the way you bring order and discipline and folks not to go out. One thing I learned over my years, 22 years, we might have a bitter argument, closed doors, when we have meetings, as far as who is the best person to give award or who goes beyond in terms of rating and evaluation. We might argue, but when we walk behind that door, go out to meet the troops, our voice is one vote, and we stick whatever decision comes out, we abide by it and move forward. And I think we just got to be careful what these people are saying. Maybe in a greater sense, what are they telegraphing to us? And I think that is something that we all need to reflect and listen to.
Reflect and listen to. Reflect and listen to. And bro, the comments, they've been coming so fast. And I like it when we have third or fourth person on the platform. So that gives me an opportunity to be putting some of these comments out there because they're very important. But I can't be talking and be looking at comments at the same time. But like I said, for anybody who thinks this platform is going to be all about, unite for change movement, not necessarily. And like I said, it's an independent platform. And we're always hoping that people can come on this platform and together we participate. Because if there is one thing that I think all of us can agree, especially the ones that are watching, unless, of course, the NPP supporters, like my main guy, Boy Fati, I talk to him every day. Seriously. Just like I talk to Pasamba every day. He's a political junkie and we don't see eye to eye.
You're talking about Mr. Carrion?
Mr. Carrion, yes. And when we hang up on, he's going to call me. And he said, okay, no. So what are you doing with this platform now? That kind of thing. And I want to assure him that this platform is always going to be independent and open. And together, us in the opposition, us looking for change. Because for me, I seriously want change. I just got a message. I see Ibrahim Silla is telling Banka, now I know where Musa Jeng stands. How about you? Where do you stand? Minister Silla is asking Banka that question. It's only Banka that can answer that. For me, like I have always said, the change that happened in 2016, we are at a better place. But you know what? I think this crusade has pretty much run its course. It's done. President Barrow is tired. The passion, he never had it anyway, is gone. The hunger is gone. When you have a leader that's no longer hungry, like Sariang, like change, the big things. I was talking to a friend of mine. He's in the UN system. And that he once attended a meeting. This was a meeting about climate change. And Gambia was seriously seen as one of the leading countries in Africa when it comes to this issue of environmental and climate change. And what was needed was a leader to seize the moment. When it comes to these global issues sometimes, this is where leadership is required. It's not that President Barrow is a bad person. He's not. He's not a bad person. Actually, he's a decent person. But you see, the leadership wasn't there. And he's saying...
He's a bad leader, Musa. He's not a bad person, but he's a bad leader.
Thank you.
Yes.
He's not a bad person, but he's a bad, impotent, ineffective leader. He's not hungry. He doesn't have what it takes, my friend. He doesn't. So this guy was telling me, look, there was the leadership that was required for us to go from one country to another, bilaterals, multilaterals, and exploit this the way we were seen when it comes to climate and environmental change in Africa. It was lacking. It was unfortunate. And I can guarantee you, if we had a leader who understands those dynamics, who understands those opportunities, who can seize the moment, benen affaire la ñoo wax. Do I believe come 2026 somehow this guy is just going to be a born again and be able to do all this? I don't. I really don't. So what we need in 2026 is someone who can seize the moment and do that. Bro, like I said at the beginning, we need someone who is intellectually curious, somebody who is very hungry, somebody who wants to unite, somebody who wants to go for the gusto, seize the moment. Gambia is a country of 2.5 million. Gambia is a country that is, we all know what we have and what we don't have. But the very strengths, they need somebody who can actually be the captain of this ship and take the country to the next level. And that is possible. Can you imagine? We already have the reputation that this country, they're doing well when it comes to environmental and climate change. Friend, all we needed is a cheerleader, a leader who can grab this and run away with it. And it wasn't there. That is why I believe we need change. Really. It has nothing to do with that I'm totally against every policy prescription that NPP has now. There are some good people in NPP doing the things that needs to be done. But I cannot see our country for the next 5 years under the leadership of NPP. The culture of politics is not going to change. I don't believe so. I need to be convinced. But we will find out But us also in the opposition, you can't, everybody that is on this platform right now and watching us, change starts with you. Everybody who is watching now, and you think the change that is going to happen is going to be done by someone else, no, it doesn't work like that. You do your part, everyone does their part, I do my part, Sariang does its part. If we all do that, then change will happen. If you want to outsource it or you make it someone else's business, and then you still expect, and come January 2027 is going to happen. The results are going to be announced. So therefore, dara, fale ulo dara, and you expect change to happen, come 2027, you will be disappointed because change will not happen. You want change to happen? Do something about it. And that vehicle is here. Unite, Movement for Change. Ken Momuko. I really believe that. I really do. And we're going to task them, the Tombong Sedis, the people that are at the helm for this effort. We're going to task them. We're going to bring them. We're going to challenge them. We want assurances. It's not going to be business as usual. No. So we'll see. But I'm excited, Sariang. I'm sure you know that. Very excited.
I'm excited too, Faramos.
And you know, that's all I can do. And be excited about something. I don't think Pasamba is gonna. I think he's at the tribute to.
I am excited. Everyone should be excited. I mean, we got folks that are coming out and saying, "Hey, we want to throw our hat in the ring, and we'll definitely make it happen." So I think it's if we call progress, this is what it is about. I mean, first of all, thinking about even the United Democratic Party itself, first time in history that 11 people put their name in the ring, one person, withdraw, but there were 10 people who went forward. 3 people went all the way to the end. That hasn't happened before. So, I mean, it's progress itself. And now you have the emergence of political parties who wants to be heard, and they wanted to, play in, and I think that is commendable. I mean, every progressive Gambian should welcome that, The way we move from here, the sophistication, reaching out, persuasion, and making sure people come together, that's very, very critical. And I think the what is called United Movement for Change.
Yeah.
So I think you guys need to put that in the back burner as well, and make sure that you have all your toolbox ready to ensure that the reaching out, the persuasion, what is your vision? What do you want to accomplish? Same thing UDP. UDP has to put forth the persuasion and the reach out, building alliances and partnerships are very, very important. People having
Lamin, just to let you know, Salcham is blocked. I mean, he's gone. Whatever and also Moses. I mean, they saga. I don't understand. But he's gone, seriously. I don't know.
But interesting times, Musa, and these emergencies, the emergence of political parties has created a new bath of conversation within all circles. The Ngentes, everywhere you go, it's dominating, and people are very, very passionate. You see folks in same household. I was in Seattle. Someone told me that he was talking to his older brother back in Gambia, and says, my brother told me he's UDP, but he has other kids, I think like 5 or 6 kids. They have this conversation and he cannot convince these kids because they want something new. They really think they wanted to align themselves with something new, not the way that their dad was doing. And it was very, very interesting to hear those perspectives. And I think that's where the conversation should run. And I think by also asked me by Sia asked me about why young folks. I think by that is the thing. If you, as I said, every politician is ambitious to move forward, to move up, and professional growth, and they wanted to have a wiggle room. And besides, they've been here and they've seen something that they can align themselves with. That's why they move on. I think that is very, very important. And at the end of the day, wherever they end up, there should be an ongoing conversation. What vision do they have to put forward, that they think where they move out of, going to another place, what is the difference and what can that be? So I think that is very, very important, okay? But I think...
Jugako, have you found your beef yet? I think I'm getting very close, Juga. I think I found the beef finally.
Yeah. But Musa, besides the opposition, who is better and better, but we have the wild card, Musa. But, the past couple of weeks, we have amounts of audit reports that's being published.
Yeah.
And Musa, to be honest, that is very concerning. And I really, really think moving forward, such a country, policies have been broken. Audit reports clearly stated some accounts, the monies were transferred without the right protocol. Some ministries were in red. So that is something that is very, very concerning as a country. And I read somewhere whereby the First Lady, the tickets that were purchased for her traveling abroad, it amounts to a certain amount, and it came from the president's office without due process. Musa, if we're talking about governance and accountability and oversight, I think these are very, very critical elements. And especially if you are the custodian of taxpayers' dollars or taxpayers' dollars, you need to hold yourself accountable. And I think I found it somehow because for the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the conversation has shifted. We're talking about more of who is forming their party, political party, who betrays who, and we forgot about the big piece. We have seen the Auditor General forcefully removed from his office. Besides that, these numerous, scandals that came out, and we cannot forget that. We definitely cannot forget that as a country, because basically what we do is we borrow and spend. At some point, someone has to take some type of responsibility and work on these things. And I think definitely it has the conversation has shifted, and we just have to bring this back to order and highlight the inefficiencies and incompetence of things that are working on day-to-day basis, and the lack of folks being accountable for their action. I think that is very, very critical. And whoever's party is, I really, really think this is a serious issue, especially corruption. And I think somehow, yesterday I was talking to someone, and what I hear from every now and then, and especially Mr. Bensouda, who just formed his new political party, some of the UDP folks are saying, we've been through this. We cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted. I think that is a line there, and I'm very sympathetic to that plight, Musa. And we all need to be careful. Political realignment, nobody's saying that is not possible. But also be careful of what people are saying. The status quo is unsustainable. The people who comes in and align themselves with you because they wanted to enjoy the positions in the government and the benefits that is associated with that. You need to contrast. If you're bringing something new, I think you need to bring fresh face, fresh ideas, who will put a reset on the status quo and bring something fresh and something new. If you don't do that, if people see you aligning yourself with the old gods, business as usual, they will become suspicious and they will raise these valid points. And that is just unsolicited advice to the movement. Be careful. There are people all shouting. Maybe they might have good intentions, maybe they don't. So I don't have any reason to doubt that at all. But I think far too long we made this mistake in 2016. Oh, for government continuity, we need to bring these people who've been in government to show us the way. And I think since that time, we haven't been able to rescue ourselves from that predicament. And we keep digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's where we are today. And we need to be very, very careful about that. If you're talking about the future, make sure you articulate these things. Because Musa, in terms of procurement, the lapses in it, so the central government, the central bank, even though there was risk that were articulated by experts and say, hey, let's make sure we safeguard and preserve these risks. Nobody listened to it because of the political realignment. And we continue to dig deeper. And it's a major violation. And also, I wanted to talk about this. This tribe thing, politicians have exploited this many, many years to the detriment of the poor and the vulnerable. And I think everyone needs to be very, very careful about this. Someone belongs to this, someone belongs to this, someone belongs to this. I really think we need to be very careful. The politicians knew this very well. They try to exploit it. But I don't think political parties, for example, none of these political parties, you will say there is a single majority of certain tribe who runs that party. It's not. It's all mixed up. So we need to be very careful. We are each other's neighbors. We live in harmony and peace. And I think that needs to continue. Whether it's a Christian or anybody, people can align themselves and they should have a voice on day-to-day running. But I've seen this, and it's going to be worse, but all of us need to stand and speak up. If someone does this, I've seen the guy, what is his name, Jaune or somebody, wrote something, about someone's ethnicity and all that. I think we should stand and dismiss that. I think it's the old way, a parochial mindset, very narrow-minded stuff. That's not should be about. It should be about progress and getting Gambia from the current predicament. I think that is very, very important. Let's not allow politicians to explore, make you scared of another person, even though that person has the best policies, but because of what they are telling you, not what they stood for and what they fight for. And I think that is very, very important moving forward.
Brother Marong, you've raised two very important points. And one of them was kind of directed at the movement. And that is, be very careful who you accommodate. I think that's what basically you were saying. People that have ulterior motives. And quite a few parties tends to fall in that, meaning basically saying that I want to win no matter what. There is a reality, no doubt, in the Gambia. For this movement to be successful, you're going to have strange bedfellows. And most likely, you're going to have people that their intention is very opportunistic. The luxury that the movement doesn't have. Because remember, I have said that for change to happen, you have to win first. Now, do you want to go out there and kind of just agree with someone with tribalistic tendencies just to win them over, that would be the wrong thing to do. Should you have a litmus test, litmus test, who should join and who is not, that can be very risky either. What it's really going to come down to, it's going to be the leaders within the movement and where they want to take this, the direction. They will reach out. Again, this is open to every Gambian, irrespective of region, ethnicity, religion. And Talib even said that. Man, woman, whoever you are invited to be part of this. Whether you supported APRC, whether you are part of the non-alliance movement, everybody is invited to be part of this effort. Because you know what? When everything is said and done, you got to win first. I don't subscribe to win at all costs, no. But you also cannot sit there and to pick and choose who are the people that you're going to work with. You want to work with every Gambian, you're going to build an agenda, and you tell them this is where we want to take the country, put it on the table, and anybody who still wants to be part of this, based on what this effort is all about, they should be able to do that. Why not? So ne dang fe nega ne ki mo wara join, ki warta join, ki nekon na APRC, bunjeka so du fi muna nega, you know what I mean? Ki doy supportala o ki lelila. If you do that, you're setting up yourself to a movement that's not gonna go from here to there. That's not gonna work. But I seriously have to believe that the strategic thinkers of this movement, I think they are committed to this. Their passion is in this, and they are fully aware what it's going to take for this movement that is going to eventually become a political party to contest 2026 and bring the change that this country needs. And I think that is very possible. And again, the movement, it cannot be personal. It cannot be business as usual. It cannot be going after political leaders, disrespecting them. It cannot be about that. It has to be about where we want to take our country and hopefully allow everyone to be part of this movement. For me, like I said, I support this movement, and I'm part of this movement, and I want to see it succeed, and I'm going to invest my time and energy and money for this movement to be successful. I mean, that's all I can do. I am one person. The movement is going to need many more people to be part of this. A friend of mine told me and said, you know, you guys don't understand Gambian politics. You guys don't understand when you go to places like Kurang and Kayav and Batinjol and Sutukonding, Sutukoba, and you guys are totally ignorant of what is going in the protectorate, in the provinces, and the way these people think. You guys think this is all about Facebook or all about the Greater Banjul area. And how is this movement? And my response is very simple. You know, every effort would start from a locality. In Gambia is small. You're talking about 11,000 square kilometers, I think, or square miles. I mean, Mungandeo Banjul, and them Anyeji Pasamas. So it's not seriously a big country. I can assure him and assure everyone, this movement is not only concentrated in the Greater Banjul area or hoping that by doing that they will win 2026. No. This movement has to be in every hamlet, in every village, in every town, all over the Gambia for it to be successful. And I think they know that. They're well aware of that. And I have no doubt in my mind that the people behind this movement are well aware that for this movement to be successful, they have to be able to meet the rice farmer in Walikunda. They're fully aware for this thing to be successful, they have to meet the farmer in Batinjol. They're fully aware, whether it's from Kaur, Kuntaur, Kurang, you name it. That is what it's going to take. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But again, it cannot be about an individual. It cannot be about Talib Bensouda. It's bigger than him. It's going to be about us. And for some of the people saying that, there was this Sal, I think, I always like his comments. It's like, for us to be independent, we need to include someone from NPP to join us and be part of this program. For us, we're always reaching out. Salfai.
That's my brother from another mother, man.
Yeah, I always like to read his comments. He's always, even if he disagrees, he does it constructively. And again, Sal, we want that. Seriously. Everything that I said, why I don't think 2026, why we need change in 2026, that President Barrow has done his bit, and I don't think he's passionate or hungry enough to take us to the next level. I mean, I don't mind to have that talk with somebody who thinks otherwise, to convince me otherwise.
Musa, I was praying when you were saying something about someone told you don't understand politics and in Facebook rec, in Facebook. I have the same pushback. And last weekend when I was in Seattle, and this is how I said it. I said, how are you gonna say I don't understand? On daily basis, I speak to people. Whether it's in the urban or rural area. Sinte is our favorite. That's where we are all born. I said, there's areas that we work with the village committee. To benefit those people because the government could not do it. And I said, having a mobile clinic to them, having people coming from Casamas and all those neighboring areas to come to the clinic and get that stuff. You're thinking that we don't understand the dynamism, because these are the real folks who, some of them, I don't even know them, but the fact that they are saying that we need this, that says that there is a possibility we could do better when we come together. And I said, just telling people that's their favorite line. If they wanted to dismiss what you are saying and they don't like it, they will just tell, Ian Hamulin, you don't understand politics, Gambia politics. What is different? I talk to my family. I talk to my cousins. I talk to my aunties. I talk to these people in the rural Gambia who are saying every day it's expensive. We could not get our medication and our clinics are not sufficient. So what are you talking about? What I get. That's what I told them. I said, what are you talking about? And I think what we did as diasporian is like almost everyone is somehow involved within their communities back home. Who some of me, I don't have any family member living in Sintet at least, but I am very connected to the community, and I do what I can in my own capacity. So I think this whole thing that is nowhere, saying that people don't understand this. We speak here. Let's think about it. 2026. The people who came through, the people who were out there organizing, convincing people, making so voter registration takes place and sponsoring those voter registrations are the same people who are living in the diaspora. And even the president, today, he doesn't like us. We are back at Omfenyo. But the fact that he acknowledged that every morning when they wake up, back in 2026, they ask each other, "Uncle, diaspora do a meaningful," because they were not relying on GRTS, because basically, but diaspora was the one who was showcasing their vision and what they stood for. So I definitely, I don't understand what they are talking about. So today, yeah, what I found, sometimes I laugh, is the alignment. When you are aligned with a party, and especially my cousins, I mean, definitely, if
So,
people are aligning, we got a good working relationship, and they part away, thank them for their work and move on. That's it. We don't need to go back and forth. For someday we might shake hands and say, and please, what cracks me up is some of the cousins, they still cannot pronounce Talib. They say Talibe. Talibe is not Talibe. It's
no, it's
Talib.
good. It's good. It's good. It's
Huh?
good.
Huh? Huh?
It's good. It's good. Talibe is good. Talibe is good.
No, 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 no. I said it, but he's called, he called it Talib Ben Suda. That's what he called himself. Huh? But Talibe, that cracks me up all the time, man. And I said, but it's so good for
my
the
man
children.
here,
Huh?
Maliki Kombo, he's always an interesting guy.
What did he say? He said Talibe. Is that what he says?
Yeah, he said this is going to be the Talib by the Talibans. Musa is religiously trying to say this platform. But Malik, I'm telling you, this is not going to be a Talib platform. Obviously, everything that you're going to hear from me in one way or another, I would definitely, my way of contributing to the United Movement for Change, it's using this platform to do that. And in my writings on Facebook and everywhere. And I'm going to be part of organizing here in the diaspora in Atlanta. I've never done any of that. I'm going to get my hands dirty. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I want change. I don't just want to sit idly by and just doing analysis. Then again, as far as this platform is concerned, it's going to remain independent. We're going to talk about issues, and I mean serious issues, not just some of these other platforms that are out there. We're going to engage. We're going to bring people that seriously believe that the current government continuity is in our interests as a country. We're going to give them the platform to say that, look, continuity we need. Barrow has been peaceful. He's done this. He's done that. We want to do that. In other words, for us, it's our democracy that is also at stake. The evolution of this democracy. Because let me tell you this, there are countries within the sub-region that had elections, change of government, started out democracy. Before you know it, everything fell apart. Soldiers came, removed them. You see what is happening in Burkina Faso. We're witnessing in Guinea-Conakry. We're witnessing in Mali. Don't think for a moment that it cannot happen to us. How do you prevent that from happening? The only way you do it is to build a very solid process, a democracy that each and every individual dina ci gis bopam, knowing fully well that we are going to participate. Ultimately, the people will decide. And I also would add, this is where term limit is important. When you have the same person, nega president 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I am telling you, you are creating an environment to basically erode that democracy, those structures, because people will not have faith in it anymore. So this is where term limits is important. This is where after 10 years, when people see that governments come and government goes, when people see that, our democracy will be consolidated. But if they see the same individual, to me, that is a threat to this very democracy that we all have. And for me, I think that's where I want to end my our back and forth today, Brother Marong, and that is preservation of our democracy. And whatever I participate in this Unite Movement for Change would be something like that. On day one, we want to consolidate, make sure that term limits, top agenda, new constitution, top agenda. Because for me, that means consolidating our democracy. All hands on deck. Then the next would be fighting corruption. And to do that, you have to believe in it, not just pay lip service to it. You talked about all these audit reports. You see, the way I pay my mortgage, that's what I do for a living. I'm a financial controller and I get audited, internal and external, at every turn. And I can guarantee you the government would say, the only reason, they'll tell you we're fighting corruption, and the only reason we are able to know all these things that are happening is because we allow it to happen. I mean, that's a very interesting point of view. They're saying because during the time of Jammeh, auditors were afraid these revelations were not happening, but they have created the environment that this auditing is actually happening and the revelations are out. And I get it. And I will say, okay, I understand and I respect that. But what do you do with it? That's what it's going to really come down to as the leader. And nobody is saying just because of the audited Sariang Marong in $300,000, we cannot really account for it. Where did it go? We're not saying just go ahead and arrest Sariang Marong and sell him to Mile 2. No, that's not what we are saying. We're not stupid. That's not the democracy that we created. That's the reason why we send Jammeh packing. We're not saying that. We're saying, show us that you're committed to that when these revelations are made. Go the distance. Find out what happened. Put together the necessary prosecution to go after those people, to answer. But look at the actions that happened. Now, I don't know this Auditor General from Adam. But the way it was done, I don't think that helps. People are saying the only reason why you're doing this is because of you guys don't like what he's putting out there. And your way of fighting him more to give him this promotion. That is ridiculous. How can we be, promoting somebody if we want to get rid of him? People are saying, okay, he wants to stay where he is. You raise hell. I mean, that brings into question whether you are really serious. Yes, revelations are happening, but what are you doing with it? Corruption is a problem, head on. And I think this movement for change, Unite Movement for Change, it's still, it's a new thing. So we're all fumbling with the name.
United Movement for Change.
No, it's not united. It's not united.
Okay.
It's not united.
Oh, okay.
And they have been back and forth. So Unite Movement for Change.
Oh, Unite Movement.
I mean, there were people talking about where is the adjective or the verb or the noun.
UMFC.
Yes. Unite Movement for Change is a compound noun. It's one word. That's how I see it. It's not united.
Oh.
It's Unite Movement for Change. So Unite Movement for Change, for me, those are some of the issues that they're going to tackle head on. That we are here to unite people in order to be able to fight corruption and not just to pay lip service to it. But again, we will allow the government or NPP supporters on this platform to disagree and agree with us, because the more we talk about these things, and that would be good for our country, Brother Marong. That was my final khutbah, if you want to call it that.
Your man, Lamin Tarawale, said you got 90 today.
I got 90 today. No, I'm liking Lamin.
Because you finally have a political party.
But tell him that
my man Karai Yakub said I have to be fair. Some people congratulate. Yes, Karai Yakub, you did, and some did. Yes, absolutely, I know that. But we need We need to. With a, so he says, leave our united name out of this. You know,
I'm going to leave our United name out of this.
Did you meet Karayakub in person? No.
Maybe is it?
Yeah, you know, he lives in Maryland area.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe not. Maybe not. But I'm sure if I see him,
Yeah. We met in Seattle, but his name about us, Big Sheikh, Sheriff Kara Yakub. You know, I call him Kara. He says we met in Seattle back in August, man. You know, great guy.
okay.
Great guy. Great guy. You know, he
So,
said,
Brother
I have to
Marong,
be fair to them. So I said, no,
thank you.
Karayako, I'm fair. I'm definitely fair, you know. I saw Karamba Road stuff. He says they need to focus on the candidate, and but Barrow is a big piece, and I think I've said that here today. So
Yes,
that's
and I said that too. This is where I agree with him. That I mean, the focus should be on Barrow and Unite Movement for Change too. I tell them. I mean,
But I saw the other guy too. I don't know his name.
Who?
He was very involved in 2021. I saw him.
The light skinned guy. Right?
Yes. What is his name?
I forgot his name. He was at the today's event. What's his name? He was one of the movers and shakers in 2021 with the UDP.
Yeah, I saw him in the front seat. Yeah. Did you
and
guys observe? Did you observe that guy too?
I believe so. I don't know. I mean, like most people think I know. I don't even know. I really don't know. I wanna congratulate my man, Bilal Kitabi, Ibrahim Diba Chako.
Oh, Diba, yeah.
Yes, and he's someone that I always liked as an individual, as a human being. I think his heart, he's always Nipkubala. Even when he was very disappointed when I write some of these things. He called my brother, I'm gonna go, hey, J. Paul. That's not a mass, J. Paul. That's the name of the guy.
Oh, okay.
It's J. Paul. So Ibrahim, I mean, he's like, I'm very disappointed. I've recruited him all the time to come to be part of UDP. You know, and I like Ibrahim, really. I really do.
Great guy. You know, and Ibrahim, as I said, it stems all the way back in the days in Seattle. You know, whenever protest comes in, the Ibrahimas and Fabu Sanes will read in Demba Baldea too. You know, and I remember, you know, when those soldiers were killed, and you know, we all meet and march on downtown and all that. So, they are very passionate, and today they might have a different version, but Demba is steady as a North Star, man.
What did Zainab said? Zainab, my friend,
but how come we didn't invite my sister on the platform, Zainab, to come on?
But
but you have to invite sister Zainab to come over.
Definitely, I think I really intend to do that.
Yeah, you have to mix things up a little bit, you know. but you see the dynamism of this whole politics. You know, I think I enjoy. Nobody should take it to heart, and
I don't think so.
We're all Gambians, man.
I know. I think it's a mistake if you do that, Bilal.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm working with people we don't the eye to eye, and today they are my buddies. You get strategized behind it. So that tells you, I mean, stuff happens. So you don't really have to.
Zainab said, Musa is very happy. No, Zainab, I don't know whether you watched him earlier today. The guy was automated. I'm telling you right now, I was just shaking my head. Musa goes at it, I go at it, I'm telling you right now.
But brother Marong, I don't think these other guys are going to join us, so we'll definitely be back. We want to thank everybody that stay tuned. And even if you disagree everything that we said, don't worry. Come next Sunday, we might be talking differently. I mean, this platform is independent.
But is it going to be like a rough and tumble 2026?
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be. This thing, this is going to be a moving thing. It's going to be all over the place. Like, this thing is not settled there. No. Anybody who thinks that you got something else coming, it is not. There are going to be a lot of turns. And to the Unite Movement for Change, I mean, there are going to be dark days ahead. That and be ready for it when it happens.
My uncle is very passionate there. My uncle, Yahya Menteng, yeah. Somebody say maintain nation. If he wrote that, I just push it. I text it to him. He says, "Inyaka
No. He's very passionate. He's very passionate. I mean, but
all right, man.
Thank you very much, bro. And again, happy anniversary. Extend my happy anniversary to beautiful China.
You know it, Father Mose. I still got your clip here, your moves and everything. Yes.
All right, man.
All right.
My brother. Yes.